My poor impulse control.
Sound on.
That is the first thing everybody heard.
Put that in the stream description. Hello, internet, drink water.
Poor impulse control.
Me and Taliesin and Godwald got sucked off by a ghosty boy.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that's not going super well.
I
I like how
I'd
this
argue with your
is-
phrasing if it wasn't pretty accurate.
is this actually a dinosaur, a stegosaurus? Is that what we got mixed up with?
Yes. Yes, straight up.
Just a straight up stegosaurus.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Or do you feel like it should have been like a wyvern or something?
He's cute.
Well, I didn't know dinosaurs were in D&D.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know,
It's an expansion book.
they're just as fantastical as wyverns, right?
I
It's
think
either in
like
the second. It's either in
Can't
the third
wizards,
player's
like, turn
handbook
into
or
a
the second
T-Rex?
monster manual.
can't like wizards turn into a T-Rex?
Wizards? I was thinking wyverns.
Does
but,
polymorph allow you
No,
to
I'm just
turn
saying,
things
like-
into dinosaurs? Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Dinosaurs
T-Rexes.
are on the polymorph and wild shape lists. In fact,
The
someday
T-Rex
you could be the Stegosaurus.
The potential.
Yeah, the T-Rex exists in D&D.
So these are all the things we've killed, except for these two. We haven't killed these two. 3.
Hmm.
The Flame Skull, Stegosaurus, and Mormesk.
It's things you've seen. But yeah, and I guess you guys didn't know his name, but I started using his name in the thing, so I guess it's too late. God already told you this character's
Yeah.
name.
It's like, let's
Oh, hey,
see.
thanks, God.
Yeah, did you just say you referred yourself as God?
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
maybe Timora, perhaps, or Bahamut. Somebody told you this creature's name.
I think a transmutation wizard can turn themselves into a T-Rex.
Probably transmutation wizards are.
Hmm.
Transmutation wizard. Well, should we start the recap?
The actual recap.
Yeah.
The actual recap? Yeah.
All right.
Who wants to be the volunteer? Who wants to be judged for their recap?
I don't want to be judged. Last week, Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, I can do it if you don't want to.
We met the mushroom people, and they dispersed poison throughout their chamber. Some of us thought it was a hostile action. Some of us weren't sure. All of us tried to run through it.
Most of us.
I made it through without getting hit with it, but everybody else was pretty like slowed, poisoned. They were something happened to them.
I don't think I did.
Well, you could hear them talking. That was
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
poisons. And yeah,
I think
they
the only
had.
person-
Oh yeah, I got rapport sport, didn't I?
I think like only one person got poisoned.
Okay. Well, just about everybody got affected by them in one way or another. The little ones. Actually, the balls accidentally poison you. The little ones bring you into their consciousness. The medium ones, what did they do? Did they make you really high, or was that the big one?
The big one does hallucination.
So the big one made you really high. I don't remember what the medium one did.
Stunned Pubert.
Okay.
That was rough.
Then we got separated. So we've got Sparkle Gem on one side of their area and us on the other. Taliesin turned into a horse and kicked a door in, which was impressive until he got half of his soul sucked out by a wizard, a wraith. And now we're kind of retreating from him, trying to cover the backs of our severely weakened comrades as they retreat back to the mushroom people for help.
Gotta kite him, man.
I think that's where we are. God damn, this is a really big dungeon.
I mean, Godwald attacked him.
Yeah, actually,
We're gonna.
we were talking about that. Godwall actually instigated both of the fights. That is very out of character for him.
That's true. I think you were the first to attack, but also, no, you weren't the first to mend the relationship with the Myconids, which is what Taliesin recognizes them as. He recognizes what species they are and kind of some of the things they do. But yeah, no, you attacked, or Godwall attacked Mushroom People. Definitely the first attack out on the Wraith with a spell that made him glow, right?
I would claim that somebody else instigated that encounter by stepping through the door.
What was the spell though?
Guiding bolt.
Guiding bolts, which made him like give
I
off
would-
light.
I'll admit to the first attack,
Yes.
but not starting that encounter.
I mean,
Which
he
I-
wasn't.
Which actually was kind of helpful in the situation because there was no light in the area, and like lighting up the bad guy and giving advantage on some of the attacks too, right?
Yes.
I mean, I will admit to pulling the trigger, but I will not admit to the gunshot wound. Like, hey, if he decided to start bleeding, that's his fault. I mean, I can't help that. Doctors make people bleed all the time.
Right? This is surgical. What's
Oh.
happening right here?
So did
I'll just message you actually.
when we saw
Okay.
the pictures,
I am
of,
so sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. What were you saying?
I was saying when we saw the pictures of the mushroom people, what did anybody think of System of a Down song "Sugar"? Like where he's screaming about mushroom people in the beginning.
I didn't until
Oh.
now that you've said something. Now it's never going to leave. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I still don't. So there you go.
All right. So I think recap is pretty well caught up.
Yeah. Like minor things. There was like a torch dropped in the, let's call it the mold room. There was a torch dropped in the mold room. There was a hooded lantern left in the starry cavern. It'll be like here, where that's
Yeah, that's where the
That's what-
big triangle
that's
is.
what that light is. That's what this circle is here. Another entrance into the cave caused another one of the clouds of gas to go up, and there were some more Constitution saving throws. There were so many Constitution saving throws last time. Quite a bit. We're here, and kind of, I suppose, the separate from what happened to everyone else over here was encountering a flame-skulled, green flame-skulled creature in what was described as kind of a barracks, sort of room. Bodies around. Attempt to approach and enter the room resulted in being attacked with the fireball spell. And everyone away from the spell heard an explosion farther off in the cave, something actually louder than the crashing waves that you guys have been hearing to the northeast.
I do not take blame. I was left unattended in my defense.
By
How is
your
that a
own
defense?
means.
Yeah, you left.
Not the point. The point is I was left unattended.
You just said that wasn't the point.
No, I was saying how I was left unattended is not the point. The fact that was left unattended is the point.
So whoever's action led to that is at fault.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
whoever didn't follow me.
That
Accountability.
You're mocking me,
And-
aren't you?
And with that, we start the 9th round of the order since you have stopped resting in that southern barracks.
Oh, that
Or the
disappeared
southern weapon room.
because-
And it is Talison's turn. Talison, you are faced with quite a few things down here in this corner.
Can I get a repeat on turn order so
Sorry,
I
I'm
know
trying
who I
to-
go after?
Yeah, so
I was trying to find the
Taliesin,
map.
with you here.
I found it. Okay, so I was trying to kite the spooky boy back over here to see if these people would help us. It's my turn. Can I ask the big spore daddy, since he said he had the last poison balloon? Can I tell him,
Yeah, you
like,
get the light.
can I tell him, like, be careful with that? That hurts your friends. But we need, like, but use it on the guy who's following us. He's all
Mhm.
misty.
Oh.
I don't know if he can even be poisoned, but and then I want to move 1, 2, 3, 20, 25, 30. But then, like, kind of, well, I don't want to run through the stuff, I don't think. Right?
Yeah, you would avoid it by going here and then taking the step off to the side. Yep.
Yeah. So and then I guess some of you guys would, I guess both of you guys other than Jerk would hear that because I'm talking through the rapport spores, I think you said they were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you guys would hear what I'm trying to do.
Well, I would probably hear you if you said it out loud because I'm pretty close to you. Oh wait, no, I'm not. You're down here.
Yeah, you're
You're not super far if I, like, yelled it or something. I guess I could just yell it out loud because he's right here and I was, like, literally within eyeshot of him.
Yeah, the creepy thing is also right there.
Yeah. So I'm basically asking the mushrooms to help us by attacking the wraith, and then I'm, trying to get everyone to kind of kite the thing back over here.
all right.
But I
yeah,
also
so-
did ask him not to hit us with the poison.
right. So like as your last turn, you talked to him before, he's like, "Bring him here, we can help." And you asked about the sport. He's like, "I've got it." As you like entering this room and you cautiously walk around the layers of like moss and mold on the ground, you do see the largest of all of the myconids holding one of the like 1 foot like spherical like plants that is in here, and you recognize it now, especially after having seen several of them go off, as what would cause that cloud of poisonous gas. Roll me
Yeah.
a perception roll or a perception check.
It's gonna be 17.
As you like see that in its hands and knowing it kind of like what it said, you recognize not only is that what like explodes into the gas, but you do see that like everywhere else there are none that are quite as large as that one. That is the largest one, and the rest are all like little baby sizes. Nothing near the size of what has exploded before. So
Okay.
seeing that as the last large puffball.
Okay. Yeah, I think he did mention that he had, like, the last one or something. I'm just gonna be like, whoa, careful with that thing, man. That can hurt me.
Yeah, and now you've got kind of an idea what you're looking for too, to see that there aren't any others of what he's holding,
Cool.
or at least at that size. The rest are much, well, tiny lollipop-sized round green things.
Okay. Yeah, the only other thing that I can do, let's see, because I don't want to dash through here. I don't want a chance hurting anything. Yeah, I can't. Well, I guess my interaction I've already used too, and I can't really use my action. Or I guess I can use my action if I use my action to dash to get back even further. Would that wouldn't like pop any of these things, would it?
No, as long as you just avoid the steps that would go through it. So
Okay, so
you
gonna-
basically took the dash action in order to get through the space, but you spent the time to maneuver through the additional steps around the glowing moss and mold.
So what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna bonus action cast the Bear Spirit Totem, which will as long as you guys can get back here, if we then it will give you guys 9 temporary hit points. So it should at least make me and Godwald a little bit beefier since we kind of got fucked up.
All right, let's see if I got a bear I can throw in here real quick. Yeah. Where are you putting it?
I'm gonna put it like right here.
Didn't work. Didn't work. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. All right, and
Yeah,
let's
look at that little
see.
guy.
What's the range on the little guy?
It's 30 feet.
All right, I want to try a new little thing, seeing if everyone can see this. Does
I can
everyone see the circle?
I can.
I see it as well.
Yep.
Might
Alright.
want to make it a different color though, because they're all yellow. I don't know if you can, but
That's a song, right?
yes.
So what I've basically done is create a token that everybody can have like control over, all players, so we can all see the aura that's on it. But obviously, Taliesin move this and keep it in a position according to how the spell works. So
Yep.
everybody else, you can touch it, just don't. Cool.
Cool.
All right. So Taliesin communicates with the Myconids to say, "Hey, look, you said you've got that last one. Do me a favor and be really careful with it." As he dashes through and then uses his bonus action to conjure a bear spirit you guys have seen in the past. Maybe Godwald could see, which would make it
It's very
More-
on brand.
Mormesk the Wraith's turn. As the ghostly apparition has exited its room and seen you fleeing, it moves forward to take the space next to Bear and Jerk, and it turns to Jerk to reach out with its spectral hand. And Jerk, you need to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Is that an attack or is that a spell?
It's an action. It's a spell, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to make a DC saving throw against it, so. It's a creature's feature. It's a
Creature feature.
A creature
Right.
feature, you say?
all right.
I'm gonna use that. Don't tell me. I'm gonna use my luck coin because I don't think that saves.
Well, I'm not telling you.
Do we remember what it was before, guys?
I do.
It was 15 was your roll. Got it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Are you asking what your lucky coin does?
Well, I know my lucky coin will give me. It says spend. Oh, an additional. Okay, yeah. So I don't want to get touched by this. So we're just gonna add another d20 to that, and that's a 31 altogether.
On your
That
Constitution saving throw? No, it's 16 plus your Constitution modifier. On plus your Constitution save, which is
I brought it up.
+1.
I was muted, but it basically what you do is before it's determined, you roll a d20 and basically treat it as if it had advantage.
Well,
Your lucky coin is basically inspiration.
Okay.
Inspiration with
So I got
charge.
I got a 16 on both of them, or a
So
15 on one and a 17 on the other.
which
17
one
on
would
the
you
other.
like
So
to use?
17.
So as the wraith reaches out towards Jerk, and it's the shadowy tendrils leeching off of its fingers towards his face, as the shadow seems to move, nothing quite happens to him, and certainly none of the pains that he's seen Godwald or Taliesin endure. Which then means it is Jerk's turn. No, it's Godwald's turn, sorry.
I would like to dash to the square to the right of the bear, avoiding the sovereign, who is the one holding the ball, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so you dash to double your movement up to... What's your movement when it's doubled?
60 total.
So right about there, probably be a really good straight 2-shot.
Sure.
You can think something at him as you're going through. You don't even have to speak. You've
No, I
heard
heard
this
what
whole interaction about the puffball with the Taliesin and everything? Sorry.
I think Taliesin pretty much covered what's going on. Like, there's this big
Alright.
bad thing. It's hurting us. Please don't let a puffball go off while we're here. And we're scared. That's everything that's happened. So
As you run by, you see all of the small myconids on all fours, little puppy dog ones, and like turn and move in unison. And a little bit slower, the larger one turns and watches you in unison, and then in the slowest movement, the oldest, largest one, holding this 1.5 foot in diameter plant, just kind of turns your way, dryly smiling. Friends. And then, if that's your turn, it is Jerk's turn.
Didn't Jerk just go? Or no.
was being attacked.
That's right. That's what that
Threatened.
was.
Yep.
So we've abandoned your ass.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
I got you, Jerk. I got you. I'm here. It's okay.
Yes, I don't know. My weapons seem to do like no damage to this thing. They're very affecting him very, very little. So I'm gonna disengage.
They're still hitting it. You just feel like it is somehow not injuring it the way that you would expect it to injure it.
All right. So I'm going to disengage as my bonus action. Going to move back down here by this dude. And then I'm going to take a shot at him with the bow and arrow, or with the crossbow.
Okay, so you use your bonus action to disengage.
Yes.
You move 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
You get down to where the adult one is, and you take a shot at the wraith.
Yes.
Roll your attack.
Ooh. 7.
Just the maneuver as you've kind of like just ran down from the top of the ledge previously, did your little barrel roll, took a shot at him, got a lucky one in, moved off farther, turned, took another shot. You've just been moving too quickly in order to like stay accurate as you went on here.
I accept that. And that's it. That's my turn.
All right. Jerk and Godwald, roll me a Constitution saving throw. As you guys are walking in this room, and a couple of you hear in your mind the little quiet, tiny voices, friends, 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 friends. And the
Mhm.
slower, larger, lower one, friends. And then a large voice that goes, I won't, I'll hold it. But as he says that, a large cloud of yellow clouds head out and affect Jerk. Jerk, you can now hear inside your mind the voices of several small people, like just kind of like repetitive and different things happening. Friends, friends, yes, friends. I won't. I'm holding it. And then whatever Godwald, Taliesin, and Pubert are thinking. Godwald, Taliesin, and Pubert, what are you thinking that Jerk hears within inside his head?
Yabble dabble.
Talison's just like, yeah, get your friends. Yep, fight this ghost boy for us, please.
Okay, Godwald, remember how to breathe.
I think Pubert is trying to decide if he's going to rebuke undead or just straight up divine smite.
All right.
Or
Well, if
equations
it's
between the two.
Well, we learned at the armory, if it's frightened, it's not trying to hurt you.
I just kind of think back. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah, this is the first time you experienced this too. Everyone else has had at least, 12 to 24 seconds to get used to how odd it is to communicate telepathically with a bunch of people. But Sparkle Gem, unbeknownst to you and anything else that's happened, you're a crispy little gnome off to the northwest. It's your turn.
Yeah, my super crispy turn.
Mm-hmm. You're a little charred. You definitely, although none of your armor or equipment caught on fire, you're definitely blackened by the fireball explosion. It kind of damaged into your lungs, and you're just finding it hard to breathe as you move on and move forward.
Okay, so I took my first move action. Can I get more of this area revealed? Because I'm in the darkness. And I don't have magic missile.
And you see 60, right?
Okay, so there would be dash. And I'm debating on if I should just take my bonus action to dash a second time.
Which I don't know if everybody caught that in the chat. I really could not see a reason why it did not apply for rogues to be able to use both their action and bonus action to make both things to be a lot of movement. So
Scamper.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing is scampering my way back to the last visible sites of the party. So can I get this pathway revealed? I mean, I'm going to move 25 feet down, but
all right, I need to refresh real quick. I'm sorry.
there we go. Now, which way was the exit?
How do you get out of here? All right, well,
But that'll be
that
the end of my
page-
turn. I'm just booking it.
All right. As soon as that page reloads for me, that means that it's the bear's turn.
All right, I'm just gonna screw it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna take a swing with a divine smite.
So is that the one you declared now, or when you hit, or there's lots of smites,
Oh,
all different colors?
a lot of different colors. Let me double check that. Oh, when I hit. So it's after I hit. So all right, I'll take a swing. For a mighty 5. Or, I'm sorry, a mighty 11.
A mighty 11 misses.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm going to use my coin if I still have that.
I believe you do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There we go. 18.
And 18 hits.
All right. And then
So as you bring, what's your sword's name? Talon. As you bring Talon to bear upon the wraith.
I kind of glows like the light was kind of stored like one of those toy lightsabers in my sword. So as it swings, the sword lights up and forgets how many dice. Because
Would
apparently
you
I
like to
can't
smite?
math.
So you'd like to smite?
Yep, I'm smiting.
Would you like to smite once or twice?
What do you mean?
Feels like somebody wants you to use all of your things now.
I was thinking about it actually. So it does one spell slot to do 2d8 extra damage, plus 1d8 for each spell level. I only have level 1 spells. But if this is undead or a fiend, I get an extra 1d8. So this would be, man, this would be 4d8
Plus.
3.
Nice.
Plus a 3.
Max out that damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
23.
Smack him for a 23.
What do you say during something like this?
Huzzah!
With
So
the question mark at the end?
Huzzah! As a
Fiend!
So
as
that's 8 slashing and 15 radiant.
How do you
20,
figure?
23 total, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I just
so
found
as
out
we-
that you can do this.
How? Shift?
If you right click, right
as
click,
Godwold.
right click.
Or not as Godwold. Really?
Yeah.
Well, that seems really dumb now that I haven't figured that out easily enough. But
I discovered that on
Pubert,
Wednesday.
as Pubert facing Mortimus the Wrath brings his weapon of Talon over his head to then strike down on the Wraith, this shadowy figure as it gets down. It seems to actually the magic on the blade splitting the specter in half as it goes out, the shadow kind of like warping around the blade as the creature screams out, and then as it seems to be like sort of split in these two parts that whirl around, they slowly come back together, but the creature actually seems slightly smaller than it did before.
Ooh.
Does
You
any-
feel
Yeah.
like you feel like this is very effective.
Does anybody have a giant fan?
Super effective.
No.
Damn.
I don't even have wind spells. Sorry.
I mean,
I could wave my shield.
And then it is Talison's turn.
He's like a big fart monster.
Let's
Taliesin,
see.
you kind of heard to the north, not inside your mind like so much chatter is, but in your ears as you're used to hearing things, just like "Wah!" like the inverse of that. "Wah!"
All right. Now that I've kind of set up a home base back here with my bear boy, let's see here.
mhm.
Hang on. Sorry. Do. How far can I? Okay, wait. So I will. Dang it. I'm going to run up to the edge of my aura. Or actually, I don't think I have to stay in the aura in order to have these temporary hit points. I think I just have to move into it.
I believe so.
Let me double check.
I looked that up. What are you trying to do though?
I'm going to moonbeam him.
Wouldn't you still have that?
No, because I disengaged and left. I don't think it would still be going.
You didn't
Is it?
lose concentration on the spell. I believe it's still going.
Oh, I guess I didn't. So I'm gonna.
You succeeded on the saving throw, or at least on the one that was to whether or not you kept concentration when he attacked you.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll move here so that I can kind of get line of sight on Pubert and the Wraith, and then move my moonbeam on top of the Wraith.
All right.
And I'll tell Pubert, like, if you can slow him down, I'll keep this on top of him. I'll try and keep him pinned down.
I'll nod in acknowledgement.
I mean, yeah, he can hear you in his mind. You don't even have to say it. You can think it.
Oh yeah.
But you say it and think it. He definitely hears the message loud and clear.
I don't know what they're thinking about. I don't get it.
No, I think you still do. I think all of you except for Sparkle Gem are affected by this for a good minute.
Oh yeah.
But then that does mean it is the Wraith's turn, who starts his turn inside of a pillar of silvery moonlight. And I believe that means that you roll 2d10 damage.
Yes.
Let's see it. He's starting his turn here.
Yeah. Five. I always get a 1 in those. He takes 5 damage. 5 radiant damage.
All right. Let's see. So right after he's tempted to suck the life from Jerk, and then suffering this attack from Hubert's blade with the magic attached to your moonbeam, then moving over him as he attempts to move out of it. The smoke, the black smoke, seems to be intertwined with the silvery light turning into flame as he's engulfed in it, and as he just screams and then sinks into the floor to disappear.
Did we do that?
Is that its whole turn?
That is its whole turn. Hold on a second. That work? Oh, there it is still. It's because I moved your other thing. And he sinks into the floor.
Fucking Reaper. He's shadow stepping.
Probably.
Oh no.
Excuse me.
I can't move your moonbeam, but you can move your moonbeam.
Oh.
I have too many things there. Okay.
Yeah.
As he sinks down into the floor. That is his turn. It does mean it is Godwald's turn, then Jerks. We're not quite out of danger yet. Godwald, you're up.
Hmm. Let's see, and that's where was the torch?
Wait, is this yellow circle not on the map still? Underneath the
one
yellow
with-
triangle?
The one with Jerk in the center?
Yeah, it's roughly 1 square south of Jerk. 5 feet south of him.
Uh,
I mean, it's a different brownish yellow.
yeah, I just forgot what that one was. Because there was also the spore circle that was going in and out on various turns. Let's see, so Jerk didn't see anything out there. That thing, maybe I just saw it go away, but I don't trust like that. But I don't want to leave the torchlight, so
You could probably pick up the torch. It's there.
oh, it's like a full move away and under you, so
Hubert, when you saw it after your attack, it seemed to be almost half the size that it was when you first struck the blow, and then seemed even smaller after the silver flames sent it sinking onto the ground.
Well, so I'll be thinking, oh, he's getting tiny. Can I make a knowledge religion check to know what? I don't know if that would even really apply.
So, like, what he is,
Yeah.
if you're interested in him, he would be an Arcana check.
Ah, okay.
But you could, but it's Godwald's turn.
Okay.
I'd honestly spend my action doing that, thinking about what the heck is going on with that thing.
Okay, standing where you are. If you
Yes.
want to do an Arcana check, they're like, well, what the hell did I just see? Have I ever seen something like it before? And you stop and think, go ahead and roll me Arcana.
Well, that's not much.
Ghost or a wraith or some kind of ethereal being seems at least obvious to you, but it's probably undead.
Fair enough. I think I'll just hold up here next to this bear. See if the others follow or press on.
All right, then it's Jerk's turn.
All right.
Friends.
I tell them that's weird, but I love them.
I have the last one for you.
The last. Oh, I don't want
But-
it.
Then what was the explosion?
That was rapport spores.
Oh, okay. Because 3 turns ago he said that they can't stop doing that.
You got my back, Pew Bear.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna move here, and I'm gonna look through the, see what I've got in a line of sight.
So that's
It's 55, so I still have 5 movement.
Dude.
If I don't like what I
So
can see, I
you-
can move
so
1
you-
square.
The guy's
use
been
your-
dead.
I used my
use your action,
my bonus action to dash.
your bonus action to dash
Yeah.
up to there as you perceive into the room with your action to look around. Is that right?
Yes.
You're spending your action to look into the room and see what you can see. Roll me your perception. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. What does he see in the middle of the action?
17.
All right, as you look inside, beyond the doors that were smashed open, like you'd seen the hinges welded shut. They're actually still kind of welded shut and attached there. The door has been busted off of them and broken into the room. But in here, the room itself is mostly filled with dust and ash. The walls are blackened by fire. It's completely scorched inside the room. So some fire had come in, spawn here, and then melted this place shut. There are heaps of debris that are beneath the sagging ceiling. So the structure that is freestanding, like the ceiling is actually like weighted down and sagging. Looks like it could come down at any moment. With that, you see furnishings like tables, chairs, bookshelves. There are beds. Everything in the room also charred and splintered, but not like unusable. Like you could lay on the bed. But in the on the south side, the south bed, you can see a scorched iron chest near the foot of that bed there.
All right. I'm going to take one more step forward, and that's all my movement. I'm going to use my interaction to say, he was guarding something. Maybe it'll help you guys. I'm going to check it out. Pew Bear, please, if you see him, save my ass.
I'm gonna. So Pew Bear is gonna say, "You got it, buddy. I got your back." But you can hear him clearly in his mind. Are you fucking kidding?
No,
You've
I'm
got to
not.
be fucking kidding.
All right, that's my
Wait.
turn.
All right. Yeah, what's Godwall thinking?
I mean, when I was in there, the light wasn't good enough for me to see that there was an actual chest that he was talking about as his stuff. So this is news to me, but that thing is still really scary.
All right. With that, Taliesin, Godwald, Jerk, Pubert, in your mind, you all hear, we're going to help our friends. And
I have a bad feeling about this.
I
those
love
little
that.
guys.
Me too.
I
move,
love how upbeat they are.
and Taliesin, several of them surround you and put their arms out in a gesture to give a hug, and they're like, friends, and they're all trying to hug you. They are approaching you, hoping you're receptive too. their
I-
hugs.
I get it. You like the show. It's a lot of people do.
That ego, though.
Is it my
It's just
turn?
do you accept their gestures for hugs? You can kind of react here.
Can I would like to bow and say, "Let me teach you a new gesture." And I bow to them very graciously. Like, in my land, this is how we say hello to our friends.
Okay.
Well, that's an interesting performance in the middle of a fungus.
All of the little ones stop and then just like, oh, very like, paying attention to you and watching your reaction to their hugs. Like, oh, it's a different way. It's foreign to them, and they're unsure. But the largest one just turns to you. No mouth for it to actually speak out loud, but in most everyone's minds, and here's says, "This is the last one for you." And you see its hands outstretched, just sort of squeezing this thing that's just now up to the size of like a beach ball. Like it's actually gotten bigger over time. And he's gesturing it out your direction and holding it, and it's kind of squeezing like it's ready to burst. And then Sparkle Gem, you're completely unaware of all of this. You're in a room full of skeletons and the bodies of a series of sturges.
Yeah.
Fleshy hell mosquitoes that we're also familiar with from the past.
Sweet, thirsty, and true life. That's all I care about. Okay, so right there.
Do you scamper?
Super scurry and gnome feet activate.
The roguish step, we should probably start calling it.
Nah, maybe.
The roguish 3-step?
Right. So you're using both your action and your bonus action to dash.
Yep, to just
You come in
scurry
close.
around.
You come around the corner, you see the bear spirit totem that you have seen in the past that Taliesin has summoned. Godwald kind of hanging out back behind a stalagmite or stalactite, do we remember? On the ground.
Oh, stalagmite.
All right. And all right, is there anything left with your turn?
No, I'm just going to stay like quiet because all I see is all these mushroom baddies these mushrooms that I assume are baddies because last interaction was not so positive with them.
All right. In that case, Hubert, you find yourself staring at a pillar of silvery moonlight that is in front of you. The wraith that was in your face attacking Jacob just a moment ago is shrunk and several times in relation to some of the attacks that it's experienced, then sunk into the floor and disappeared. Jerks move forward, and it's your turn. What do you do?
I guess I'll do like a kind of cautious sidestep around around the moonbeam
All right.
and try to get myself closer to Jerk here in case something goes awry.
All right. So you use some movement to go up next to Jerk.
And I think I will. I can't think of anything I would need to do to. I can't think of a good hold action right now, so I'll just. I'm going to prepare to use my reaction to impose disadvantage on anything that might attack Jerk. So that'll be my very exciting and interesting turn.
All right.
Playing bodyguard.
All right, then we start the 11th round of action post Taliesin Tripping's rest. Taliesin, it is your turn. You are surrounded by tiny mushroom people that are really want to hug you. A guy who is squeezing a balloon that you are pretty sure is full of poisonous gas. You've just bowed to them.
Yes.
What do you do?
So I'm, reading the room. Clearly they are friendly, but unintentionally are probably going to hurt me. So I am going to peace out and be like, friends, stay here. But then I'm going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, I accidentally zoomed in a whole bunch. 30, so I can get up to here, I believe. And then I can, hang on, I can, as a bonus action. So I read the spell for my spirit totem. You only get the hit points if you're within the aura. But I can move it up to 60 feet as a bonus action. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So I'll do that. So basically you guys would see this like crazy celestial bear just like take off running after me. And just like morph through these people, these mushroom boys. But that would also give Hubert and I think Jerk would be just on the edge of it, so it'd be kind of in it, but it would give
Jerk.
you guys 9 hit points.
Jerk, roll a d4. On a 1 or a 2, you succeed. Succeed. He's inside of it. He gets them.
So you both get 9 temporary hit points.
When Sparkle Gem ran in earlier, does she also get temporary hit points?
I mean, it would have moved and it's no longer with me.
She would have. She would have, but you have to be in the aura, which is why I can move it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm basically just hoping that they follow us.
All right.
Or like pop the balloon from far away and then wait for it to go away.
Taliesin kind of hops over the mold spores to the room and jumps past the guys. The ball, though, that was right there was too ready and explodes. So whoever is within this... Wait a minute. Is it still down there already? No, it's not. Oh, right. I'm selected.
The green one?
Then the green one, the largest myconid who have the big balloon. It squeezes and it pops as you run by. So make me your Constitution saving throws, Godwald and Sparkle Gem, and Taliesin, you're right on the cusp of it. Roll a 1 or a 2. 1 or 2, you succeed on a d4. Succeed means you don't have to make the save here. You don't have to make the save here. Godwald and Sparkle Gem, as this, you kind of like walk into the room and see this giant mushroom man holding this balloon. As it gets larger and larger, it becomes kind of obvious what you need to do as his hands squeeze it and it pops. As it floods the room with the gas, you're both able to take a breath and cover your mouths before it fills the room with gas, and it kind of explodes a bit farther to the north, filling in a space where some of those things are. For the next round, Godwald, it is your turn.
Well, that was gross. Again. But I guess Do
You
I know
really-
do I know Sparkle Gem is there because they're not in the light?
She say anything as she came up?
Mm-mm. He may have heard the pit patter of my feet as I'm like booking it, but that's about it.
Sure, roll your perception from when she ran up before. You can tell you. There you go. So when she ran up from before. It wasn't stealth or hiding, so just roll above a 10 on a perception roll, and yes, you knew. Yeah.
Okay, then everybody's here. Then can I get to the bear without knocking over another small mushroom from here? I just don't see path.
Yeah, you will probably have to run past one of them. What are you looking to do or avoid?
Well, if everybody's here, then I'm willing to just continue along this path since Jerk didn't find anything else between here and more interesting doors. I just like to
Okay,
meet
so
up
if
with
you
everyone's back in the room. So
if you want to run through them, you probably would. You at this point have been through enough with these mushroom people to understand that like getting close enough to them triggers them to react, and you've been connected with them emotionally for the last let's say 60 seconds or so, and you kind of get that they feel when they feel something they respond and do it. So you could avoid them. You could maybe possibly trigger something. You know they're no longer hostile to you. You've seen that and you've changed that already.
let's see, so I can get to here, to here, to here. So I guess I'll dash and move to here.
All right. Oh, well, dashes through the poison cloud around the myconids so as to not disturb them. You don't trigger any of them through that path.
And that's my turn.
All right. Means now it's the myconids who so I think most of you can hear in your minds like, sorry, friends. Sorry, friends. Sorry. As they kind of waddle back to their collective space with all their molds and plants and mosses and dangerous poisonous cave things. But outside of the smaller voices, apologizing, the bits about friends in a sort of sad tone, the larger one, the older voice inside your heads is like, you're safer now. Kind of got it already. And then it's Sparkle Gem's turn.
So you double dash.
All right.
I think that worked. And
All right.
like
You use your action and your bonus action to run, cover a lot of distance, and catch up to Godwald.
yeah, and as I
Through the
like
cloud of smoke with your mouth covered.
yep, and as I like walk up back at like behind him, I'm going to look at my hand and see it covered in black soot. I'm just going to kind of like wipe it off on the back of his shirt. So at least one spot of my body is clean at this point.
Well, the only spot of you that was clean before you ran into a poisonous green glass cloud.
Yeah. So now at least I have a clean hand. And I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to like caress his back to wipe my hand off.
There you go. Good
Why
job.
It's here before Godwald. You now notice.
Text save dish rag.
I do not notice before you finish doing that.
Yeah, but she's there now. You understand the sparkle gem is behind you. But with that, it would be Bear's turn.
All right.
Right.
Fuck it. You know what? I will. I'm going to pardon myself and take a couple of steps into this room. I'm going to try to rotate my figure, but I can't. There we go.
Believe in you.
I can do this once. All right, there we go.
He's facing that way.
Yep, you did it. I'm yeah, do I with my amazing human eyes?
In the dark, with your amazing human eyes, a little bit of light casting in from a hooded lantern that is on a 10-foot ledge off in the distance. You see very little of this room in front of you.
Do I hear anything? Anything like out of the ordinary in this room?
Roll me your perception. I'll tell you what you see just all over.
This isn't letting me do -1. Wait, maybe it will. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, jerk, be careful. It's dark in here.
It's
Thank you.
very dark. It's very dark in that room.
In a
Yeah.
mocking tone, I say, "Thank
basically-
you, friend."
You can pretty much, as Pew Bear walks in the room and thinks to himself, it's very dark in here. And then before he gets the chance to turn to Jerk and say it's very dark in here, Jerk's like, "Thank
know.
you, friend." But yeah, it's very dark in that room. You can't see much past where you're standing.
I think I'm gonna learn some cantrips if we survive this.
You can't just learn
And-
cantrips; they're given to you through your class.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was a feat.
There is a
I'm
feat.
thinking of I wasn't sure if it survived 3-5, but
There's a feat where you take 2 cantrips and one first level spell per long rest.
I
oh,
know somewhere someday somebody's just gonna be like, "I pick up the torch."
what?
I don't need it.
Like I get it, it's D&D, but why the fuck are you making up shit, Jared?
I know. Like, why am I forcing you into the
I
situation?
think,
Like what is?
I think you
Like we
also
live
have
in the
other torches.
future.
Don't you have other torches as well, though?
My problem is that my hands are kind of full.
I
I
guess
mean,
that's true.
but
got a
with
sword and a
interaction, you could put a sword away and shield on your arm and light a torch. You can interact to put those things away and take out the torch and use your action.
You know what? Let's do that. I will do that. I figure if I keep my shield out, I can at least be a shield boy. So yeah, I'll if nothing attacks me immediately after setting foot in this room, I'll sheath my sword and light me a torch.
All right. The room now flood with light as this happens here. You see sitting in the corner now, sort of wrapped around the charred silver chest, is the ghost, this wraith spirit looking back at you, just mine, no, and it's just like clutching to the chest.
No, it seems kind of sad and pathetic.
Yeah, that's oh.
Just put him on our sad cringe.
Snap a photo.
Mine, no.
Yeah, Jared, could I just like use the flashlight on my phone instead of wasting a torch?
Yeah, right. You guys put the torch out, pick up your other torch, have 2 torches still.
I'm just
Not
gonna drop it.
instantaneously used after 6 seconds.
Dual
This is
wield.
gonna be Minecraft style.
Yeah,
to
but
first of all-
you enter the room. You sheathe your sword, pull out, stow your shield enough to pull out a torch and light it, and you're able to see in the room, and you see the spirit sort of sadly,
Is it still half size?
quietly whispering at you. Yeah. It's just like big enough to kind of grab over the chest and oh no. And then it's Talison's turn.
There must be something important in that box.
Yeah, my
Important.
thoughts exactly.
Important
I'm
to
going
it, at least.
to move up. Let's see, where was I at? Here. 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I like move through him like that? But
It
like,
counts as 5 extra.
Yeah.
oop,
Yep.
let me just sneak right past you.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
And then I will move my moonbeam on top of him
all right.
and be like, fuck you, guy. And that's about it.
All right. The Wraith starts his turn inside your moonbeam. Roll me damage.
$13 damage.
All right. How does this Wraith die?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Oh my god, I was so worried we were gonna die.
I'm still worried.
I mean, I'm running around with 2 hit points.
Yeah, but you come back to life if you die.
You don't know that.
I mean, in a meta way, I do.
You're right.
You said it out loud. So I would say I move my moonbeam on top of him, and he just screeches, and the silvery radiant flames like slowly just kind of burn him away. It'll be like the scene from The Wizard of Oz, and he's like, "What a world! What a world! I'm melting." Yeah, like that.
Mine.
And then you hear Taliesin go dun 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 dun. Dun.
So as Taliesin
It feels like he's
Taliesin-
thinking it in much better pitch than he's actually singing it.
Taliesin enters the room and moves his moonbeam over the chest where he could see this tiny shadowy figure clutching to the chest, screaming, "Mine!" He moves it over, and as it evaporates into silvery flame, and he goes da 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 da. It just kind of yells like 500 years, no, and it dies, disappears,
Sweet.
ejected
See-
from this plane of existence.
See, guys, we're pretty strong.
All right. With that round being over, the cloud of gas dissipates from the room filled with myconids. You guys, as you've basically noticed, the puff balls are not large enough to explode. You've kind of at this point seen them as you pass through, and now after this last terrible few minutes, you understand that the only the largest ones that are about a foot large will explode as you pass through, but it only takes the tiniest vibrations in order for them to pop. So even if you're coming nearby them, it's something you have to do. To deal with these in some way. You guys are in here, Godwald and Sparkle Gem. I'm assuming you would move into the room to go with the rest of the party. As you do that, I need you to roll me a final Constitution saving throw. As a yellow cloud of spores erupts as you enter the room, and they're kind of all sort of these little guys celebrating and dancing. Friends, and you almost kind of hear a sort of music you sort of feel in your head. It's just like they're so into having new friends and loving that you guys have come to visit.
I wish my life was so simple.
Yeah, they're pretty stoked about it. But you're both affected. So Sparkle Gem, you also
I think these are my new
experience this as
favorite
well.
characters. I love these guys.
Wait, how do
So-
I experience that when I have items that block telecommunication with me?
Oh yeah,
So-
read it. Read me the things. Not you.
Uh,
Well, not you.
Where is it? Ring of Mind Shielding. While wearing this ring, you are immune to magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts, determine whether you are lying, know your alignment, or know your creature type. Creatures can telepathically communicate with you only if you allow it. You can use this action to cause the ring to become invisible until you use another action to make it visible, until you remove the ring, or until you die.
Okay,
If
so
you-
Sparkle Gem, you kind of experience. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it goes on more and more about how, like, if I die in this
If you die,
ring,
right.
blah, 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 but that's not
Yeah.
happening right now.
So Sparkle Gem, you kind of experienced something new for the first time since you've been wearing this ring, which is like having other creatures trying to penetrate into your mind. I imagine you experienced this in some way, like maybe someone in a distance room saying hello, and you kind of have to like go and greet them or not. So you are like hit by the spores, but you would be able to choose whether or not you kind of accept this telepathic communication coming your way.
I mean,
It's up to you with the way I read that.
I know with the way they're not being hostile, though, I don't see why I want it.
So then you'd be able to.
But at the same time, it's really creepy. So I kind of don't want to.
You
Would
don't
you like to
have
let
to.
the dice decide?
But you have to tell me whether or not
Yeah,
you're doing
I'll
it. or
roll
not.
a d4. Evens, I hear it. Odds, I don't. How's that sound?
You choose.
I hear it.
All right, Sparkle Gem accepts these psychic voices. Now you all kind of can hear each other think as you're going through here and experience this. You are officially out of combat.
Neural handshake.
I'm gonna go open this chest. Lock picking tools is what, a D20?
I'll go ready in case something pops up.
In
Alright.
my thoughts, I think, hey, if someone wants to grab that lantern, it'll give us more light in here. But if you don't want to, I'll just grab it after I unlock this chest.
Meanwhile, I'm just
Q-Bear is standing there with a torch behind
Okay.
you as you would have entered the room.
All right, so it's my sleight of hand, right, for lock picking.
No, it would be a dex check, but it doesn't matter because as you approach the chest and check it, it is unlocked.
Oh, nice.
And inside you find 1,100 copper pieces.
That's a lot of copper.
It's a lot of copper. It's in his chest.
That's like $11.
You find, well, it's a lot to not rich people like you guys are wealthy. You find also 160 silver pieces inside the chest. You also find 50 electrum. You find 3 diamonds. Roll me and checking the value of these things.
You said it was 160 silver pieces, right?
What he said matches Chris's notes thus far.
Okay.
Shirk, roll me an investigation to see what you think the diamonds are worth. You could see that they're easily worth 100 gold apiece.
Ooh.
And they're
Guys,
actually quite a fine cut. Maybe you could try and finagle a little more for them.
I tell them all we're rich again.
Also, on top of all of the coins and next to the pouch with the diamonds in it, you find a wooden pipe that is adorned with a platinum filigree. and you would value it at about 150 gold pieces. It's a really fucking fancy pipe.
You said it's worth 150
Mm-hmm.
gold.
Yep.
Hey,
So
Miles.
I pull it out and I kind of like ask Taliesin, I'm like, hey, dude, you smoke, right?
I was just gonna say, I canonically smoke a pipe.
I'm like, this is the fanciest fucking pipe on the planet. Here,
How fancy is it?
Hell
it
yeah!
is.
It's
As
150
fancy as the
gold fancy.
diamonds. Like fancier than diamonds fancy.
Oh,
Yeah, it's more valuable. You can buy the inlay of the platinum pieces that are holding the wood together, like the whole pipe and just the detailing on it, and like how it must have been magically etched in order to get this level of precision in the sort of like designs and scripted around it.
Does someone?
Yeah, it's probably very valuable. 150 gold.
Nice.
And while this is all
right.
going on, Sparkle Gem is eternally screaming in pain the entire time, and that's all you hear.
Okay.
oh.
Yeah, Sparkle Gem is hurt, but while he's searching through that chest, is there anything else anyone else is doing?
I'd like to pick up the torch on my way into this room. The mushroom torch in
Okay.
their main hand.
All right,
Does-
then what I'm gonna do is take the
Torch
Um,
icon.
the torch icon off and just keep it on you.
All right, I'm gonna retrieve my lamp too.
Sure.
And where's Sparkle Gem at?
You're looking right at her.
All right. So
At, like completely black in soot, and her head looks freshly shaved from where all the like hair singed off that half of her head.
all right.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I I ask her if she's. I'm like, you look like you've seen some better days. What happened over there?
I mean, some weird green glowy stuff floating around. Decided I wasn't allowed to go places I wasn't allowed to go at, and they blew me up.
And I give her my bedroll and I say, here, go in this room. We just killed a spirit in here, so I think it's safe. You look like you could use a nap.
There are no doors on this room, so
We've got some
of
big
all-
metal
like,
doors we can try to move
this-
back into
this-
place.
This room is only as safe as a corner in any of the caves.
Oh, I also need a nap.
I'm gonna go get my torch, so I'm picking up my my lantern.
As Shirk like hands me
Okay.
the bedroll, in my head I'm just going to be like, but that's not my cozy sack.
Like your
All
sack's
disappointed.
like
Sack.
I'm sorry.
SAC.
I think your sack is on the cart.
Yeah, the cart that got stolen way long ago that we didn't even know got stolen.
In my head, I just think to her, I'm like, we'll get you a new sack, baby. We'll get you a new sack.
Okay.
And this microphone is
Is what?
muted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you been talking this entire time?
No, it was so I don't say something stupid.
Oh God.
So Jerk goes in. He immediately runs for the chest. Talos and Puber, you're also in the room. Do you want to look at it? Or...
I'm going to see if there's anything identifying on the chest itself. Maybe a name, maybe a crest or something.
If you look around the room, there are other pieces of like gear and equipment and other stuff around. There's a bookshelf that you would see that there's several books on it. The beds and the space itself seems to have been a place for humans to stay while they were in the cave. And roll me like perception or investigation if you're looking around the room. Anybody?
3.
Hubert sees books. He's like, books.
I see.
Beds. He sees
I see
books and a bed. This is Brazier in the corner. Godwald goes and he goes, looks through some of the books and things on there. Godwald, you get the impression that this is where some of the wizards stayed when they came to Wave Echo Cave. So some of the things in here, just on the pages, seem to have been preserved, despite the fact that most things are charred and burnt. Some of the papers aren't. So you get the idea that actually there's some magical paper here, the kind of thing that are from specific trees that wizards would ride on. And so it kind of tells the story.
I kind of remind everybody that he did say 500 years. I don't know if that has any kind of significance, but that's the last thing he said before he ate it.
A long time. Talison's gonna go check out this door. What's the worst that could happen? Another ghost?
Right? Yeah, just one more.
It's a tiny cave. It's population 1.
It's a hidden cave. Dot, 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 dot. No, it's just a room. It's actually just a storeroom for some other supplies. Like their personal goods, some clothing and other gear, staves that are seem to be just regular staves at this point.
It's like a walking stick.
Yeah, but Godwald, you did in all of the tomes that you're searching through on the shelves. Most of them are histories, so like kind of stories that tell about things from after the Great Calamity, but before what befell the Wave Echo Cave and this battle.
If there was a book that was about what befell with Echo Cave, I would be very concerned.
But in one of the histories, you do find a book with a map sewn into its cover. And that map is actually a... Oh, shit. That map is actually a map of continent Faerun. And I'm going to set that up while you guys are sitting here. But you guys now have a larger map. And on it, you see there is a marking. And if you were to investigate this further, you'd probably get to find more about. But the map is marked with an X. And it is the largest map of the known world that you have seen.
Known world, not gnome world. Okay, and on that note,
Yeah.
on that note, I'm going to take my 9 o'clock break real quick because my boyfriend's about to go to bed for the night. So
That actually sounds like a good idea because school's starting again. Got to get the kid to bed.
yeah, like
Oh yeah, it's coming up.
responsibility stuff. So I'll be back.
Okay. I'm going to take a quick break as well. I'll be right back. Nice job killing the wraith, you guys.
I'll be right back as well.
Add map of Faerun to inventory.
Put map book in your inventory. So just add a book and then edit that book to say map book. And I'll go edit it up and change it later. There's so many lights in that room now. The cave that once looked like stars now just looks like sharp, sparkly stones. So bright.
I'm gonna need DM help here.
All right, I'll do it. Give me a break. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
because it says that you already have a modified book item called History of Gramouche in your inventory. Would you like to add a
Yeah.
second copy of that?
Yeah, we'll do it. Don't worry.
Map book. Okay. Oh,
hello, hello, hello.
Hola. I was worried that I was gonna die there.
I was worried everyone's gonna die there. It could have gone wrong. But you guys do still find yourselves down below HP. That does not magically come back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take like a long rest again or something. Oh,
Yeah, I think we should try to barricade this room a little bit, maybe.
um,
You
what?
yeah, we'll figure it out when you guys are back.
I did have a question of whether or not. Oh, like if I could roll Arcana on that pipe to see if there was any, if like it was enchanted or anything.
You can roll Arcana on the pipe to see if it was enchanted. I think he just gave it to you. To know if something is enchanted, I do like an Arcana roll of a certain height, but you can just spend an hour with an object to find out if it is enchanted or not. So even if you fail a roll, you might think about, let me sit and focus with this object for an hour.
It's 17.
All right. Yeah.
So 300 GP of diamonds, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Neat.
Why does it look like things happened?
It looks like
Oh, I rolled Arcana on the pipe.
And
He hasn't told me anything yet, so I don't know.
what did you roll?
17.
Okay.
it sounds like he wants to use it, but on the other hand, we just went through a room full of lots of crazy poison things.
And yeah,
Skepticism. And after that last trip earlier today,
Who else has a who else has proficiency in Arcana in this room? You
I
guys
do.
are all here now, right? So Godwald and
Yes.
Sparkle Gin, you both do.
Yes. So you're telling us to make Arcana checks?
Yeah.
Let me highlight it.
worse.
Eh.
All right, Sparkle Gem. As you kind of like earlier identified, just a general necrotic aura that's in the cave. You kind of noticed, especially when you found that glowing green skull, like kind of pieced together all the things. Like, oh, this is a necrotic aura. As you went through, as you entered this cavern with this sort of these minerals that give off this false starry sky. You notice that the necrotic aura here is happening here still, but it actually seems to be different towards the northern half of the cave.
So I felt it stronger when I was dealing with the living floating skull than I do over here.
You still faintly feel the necrotic aura here, but farther north, something seems different.
Noted.
Taliesin, you kind of generally feel you feel this necrotic aura here in the area as well. It's kind of making it difficult.
Okay. I want to say, guys, I think I needed to take a while and rest because that ghost kind of messed me up. He was a ghost with the most.
I second that. I'm like, you guys all look like you got pretty banged up. Let's try to fortify this door.
Why we could all pile into this tiny room together and take a nap.
We could, yeah. Why not?
This is like a Persona game.
Like, we'll get cozy here.
Similar, yes.
It's like we found another relatively safe room.
All right, so you guys try and squeeze in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Where's my
Does this door have a lock?
jump huh? It does not. You are currently in a closet. It has a kind of latch.
I tell everybody, I have never felt so close to you.
The latch is on the exterior of the door, so
Let somebody laugh. Thank you.
You can't even latch it.
Is there some way we can bar the door with the several staves in here with us? Or does it open out and that doesn't actually help us at all?
Yeah, it's a closet. It opens out into the room. The latch is out in the room just to really. It's really even just like a little piece that's there just to keep the door closed instead of just letting it swing open.
I mean,
If you look at this room and you guys are like, anyone give me like a survival check.
I'm not proficient in
You
it,
think about this room.
and it's
that's
a
the,
straight
that's
roll.
the 21.
Taliesin looks at this room and then thinks of this closet and he's like, this is not a very good place to try to barricade.
I got a natural 9.
It's not as bad as a place we've already been.
Well, it's not as bad as.
Or
place
it's
we've already
worse. It's worse than where we hold up last time.
been. Oh, because we can't like lock the door.
Yeah, it's just a closet door. It's not.
I mean,
Well, guys, I mean, we can if we continue forward. Maybe we
you
can
can-
find somewhere.
what? Maybe
I mean,
we
you
should
can do it. You could
we should-
close this door and stay here. You can do that, but it doesn't
not.
seem very sturdy.
How
Right.
about we just go back to where we
Well-
came from?
No, let's do this. Nothing is going to find us here unless it is looking through all of the doors trying to find us. And I
You-
don't think that really anything knows that we're here.
You saw what
We could
Sparkle Gem
all-
looks like, right?
Yeah, but I don't think that
And
that
as
was,
Stork
she
says that, I'm like,
explained.
I didn't explain anything other than I saw a green glowy head that made me go boom.
Yeah, but
She's
that
charged.
I can sense some sort of energy, but it's not. I mean, I feel it here, but it's not on top of us. It's further away, and I don't think that it knows where we are currently. At any rate, I'm half dead, and I need to rest.
All right, we can.
You guys do know that the explosive, like puffball sort of plants there aren't any of them that can explode currently.
So as long as we don't go into 5-foot range of any of the mushrooms, they will not try and hug us anymore.
Are we talking about taking a long rest or a short rest?
Probably
I
at
don't
this,
know what it takes.
at this point, probably a long rest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine, but everybody else burned up a bunch of spells and got real fucked up.
Yeah. Who is the most hurt, actually?
Sparkle Gem.
Yeah. Why is this on my? Wait. So what happened to you?
Sparkle Gem
Where were
is the
you?
most.
What was
I
that?
went boom!
Was that so? That loud noise was because of you.
I went boom.
I
Do you need a change?
are you okay?
Now, if we try
I
to
mean, I'm hurting.
if we try to rest with our friends, I think we'll have protection there. We'll know if
I'd like to-
something's coming.
I'd like to use my class feature.
What's
At
your
this point,
class feature that you would
uh,
like to use?
I'd like to use my special domain channel divinity. Basically, right now, all it just does is heal Sparkle for 11.
Woo.
All right, Sparkle Gem. You regain 11 hit points, and you spend that spell slot, where it's a class
Nice.
feature. You said.
I have clicked that charge. Yes,
You said
All right.
11?
Use the charge of that.
yes. Or to your half of your hit point maximum rounded down.
Wait, it's half my
Right.
max
Like,
rounded
it can-
down? Or
Like
that'd
you,
be 13.
no, you heal until you hit that point. So it should work like that.
Okay, so yeah, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. So I'd be
So-
at 13 health.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got to figure out this rest period. So, do we want to
My
go?
potion's going to wear off.
Do we want to go to the mushrooms so we have some kind of protection and notification if something comes to us? Do we want to stay in this room, which is not protected at all, or do we want
Do
to
we
go?
want to go back to our other
barricade-
room?
That was the third thing I was going to say. Do we want to go to
Yeah.
our barricadable area full of dead skeletons?
So my biggest concern about staying with our mushroom friends is that they're not aware of a lot of the stuff that might hurt us. So we might wake up with a stomach full of spores, or with our own mushroom caps, or something that they thought would be cool that we weren't expecting.
Like us tripping nuts.
Yeah, and as fun as that might be, I've got this holy body. I got this temple I have to maintain.
Okay, so my vote is actually to make the trek
Uh,
back.
You guys do know you are in one of the freestanding structures that are in this cavern, but you do know there is another freestanding structure to the north.
This
So
probably
there is
full
another
of
wooden.
probably
wooden
full of
building.
monsters or something.
I'm willing to spend another spell slot, get Sparkle back to full, and then a subset of us do a bit more exploring, keeping the injured people in the back.
I mean, at this point, I would say I do have that potion still going, which makes it so if I fall below 0 or
Okay,
fall
I'll
to
wait.
0, I'll res up to 1. So save your heal. But I vote we keep exploring since I'm no longer at death's door knocking.
Well, let's just keep going. If we get into a fight, I'll wild shape.
Okay.
If there's I do have 15 hit points left on my lay on hands. If anybody,
You could touch me after I get resurrected.
Me and Godwald's life got
Mhm.
halved, and it's like our maximum hit points got halved, so you can't heal us.
oh okay,
Yeah, they
Oh,
have
yeah,
to
that was
wait
good.
for that stuff to wear off.
Which
Man, you hope it wears off.
Yeah,
that was kind of why I think we should take a long rest or something, because I don't know if that would help.
Well, we need to find somebody somewhere that's a little bit more safe.
All right. Well,
I don't know what's in this cave, so
Okay,
I
so
say we keep
I volunteer.
going.
I volunteer to stealthily check the next freestanding structure. I just tell them, hey, I'll be real quiet. If you guys who are injured want to hang back, I understand. I'll just check it out and come report back.
Nope, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. Beep.
Fuck it, let's go.
Sparkle Gem and Jerk are taking point.
hang on. I'm gonna go
Last
with you
session.
guys, and I cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
On everybody.
On the stealth squad, you stealth and squatting.
Are you guys staying with them, or are you coming with us?
I would totally go, except for I'm about as quiet as a man in heavy armor.
Can we
Pass
still?
without
Yeah.
trace.
Oh, wait,
Pass without trace adds
Pass-
10 to your stealth check.
I give you
Yeah.
10.
And,
So
Yeah.
Okay,
but
so
yeah,
I'm
I'll
gonna-
definitely go.
I'll roll
Yeah.
my
I'm full of health.
my stealth here.
Okay, so if everybody's going, everybody roll stealth. We're starting with jerks.
33.
Wait, it's 15 plus 8.
He's
Plus-
extra
Yeah,
phased.
but with pass without trace though.
Oh, plus 10. I gotcha. So you
It-
had that. I got it.
It's crazy.
So I got a 20.
28.
No see check.
Mm-mm. Yeah, my sneaky sneak no see.
So 33, 20,
And then I'm in.
28. 17.
I have to roll twice because
And 20.
my armor gives me disadvantage.
Yeah,
And
but you're still 20.
What's your dex?
-1.
So that's
Oh,
with it, I guess.
Yeah, that is, so his roll is a 10.
So
You
My
so
roll is
sneaky.
actually a 10. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. It's so much higher before. All right.
Okay.
is
I
Alright, so-
suggest that he takes up the rear.
Be our back point.
Okay.
All right. So
I
as you
stow-
guys have
I stow this
through-
torch.
All right, yeah, let me what's the torch light situation here? I got too many shapes and I want to pull some of them off.
Jerk,
Whoops.
Jerk, give him your lantern.
Yeah, I'll give him my lantern. So
Cause-
if he uses the hood, it does a cone.
Well, can't you like do it so it just sheds like dim light?
I think so. Let me look.
Like if you close the hood. Oh,
I can't select these. Where am I? Oh, because they're probably up here.
Lantern hooded.
My torchlight
Oh my
is
god.
at the entrance
What
to
did
this
you do?
cavern.
Oh my god. Everything's naked now.
Okay, we're using what torches / lanterns are we using?
Okay, so the hooded lantern casts a bright light in a 30-foot radius, or dim light for additional 30 feet. Once lit, burns for
Right, so
6 hours.
I already got the shape.
As an action, you can lower the hood, reducing the light to a dim light of a 5-foot radius. So I leave
Yeah.
that up to them. If they want to have it all the way up and just kind of aimed in a direction, they can do that. Or if they want to be a little more stealthy and just use dim light, we can do that too.
I think I'm, speaking as a non-dark vision person, am okay with having the dark vision people in the front and only being able to see 5 feet around Jerk, because I'll still know if we're in combat or not.
Well, I would like to have both my hands free, so I'm going to pass it along to one of you humans who needs it.
So he's offering his hooded lantern to you both to say, hey, if you need a light, here's a light. It's better than a torch, he feels like.
I can keep a
And-
hand free, sure.
Okay, that'll let me hold my sword and shield.
So that's both torches away and just 5 feet of dim light around Godwald.
Yeah.
is it a 5-foot radius?
Yes.
Cone.
Yep.
So it'd be 10 feet around him.
Fair.
Dim light.
Doom, light, light.
All right, 5-foot circle of dim light around him. 5 foot is very small. It's like the
Yep. Just enough that Pubert can keep following me, and that I do not trip.
What more can you ask for, right?
Can you move this, Godwald? Wait, that's on the map player.
We still have that 60-foot cone up.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of it.
I now have access to this dim light radius.
Okay. So he's basically got enough light that you can see him to follow him.
So
Well, wait, is it a 5-foot
you
radius
can-
or 5-foot diameter?
It's a 5-foot radius, so it should be 10
Oh,
feet.
okay.
Now we can also use an action to just light that fucker up, take the hood off, and light up 60 feet, 30 feet
Yeah.
of bright and 30 feet of dim light.
Still, it's enough to kind of see him around. But yeah, you can change it.
Yep.
I've got the 60-foot cone up for it. If you ever changed to
All
that.
right. So who's going first?
I will go first since I'm probably the best off besides Pubert.
I think you should go first because you've seen what's up there before, and no one
Yeah.
else has.
Not a whole
Yep.
lot.
I'll go second.
All right, so I will stealthily make my way to these doors.
All right, you move up to those doors, and you find that similar to the room to the south, whatever massive magical explosion for welded those hinges shut has also welded these shut, though they seem just partially melted, and like you may be able to force it open with something.
Like a horse.
Oh, do I
Like
have
a horse.
Hmm.
It's worked in the past.
Didn't I give? Oh, I've got a crowbar.
Wait, which doors are we talking about too? Those?
These
Right?
ones that I'm in front of, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Okay, I do have a crowbar. I'm gonna need
You
one of
can
my
use a crowbar and have advantage on a strength check.
I'm gonna need one of my big strong men to help me out with that because my strength is -1. Where's
I'll come
that?
by.
Where's that lantern
Oh,
going?
wait, actually, no, I'm sorry.
You just
I'm
threw
sorry.
the crowbar at somebody.
I apologize. I fucked this up. So this room to the north, like the doors that you saw to the south, the same explosion had caused damage and seems to have partially melted them, but they do seem cracked as if someone has already pried these doors open. So the door is there without a lock, and if you were to put a hand on it, you would notice that it is not locked. I
Okay.
apologize. I
Oh, that's
forgot.
fine.
I'm
Alright.
in
Okay.
15, not 14.
I'm keeping the light over here. You try what you want.
Okay, I'm gonna slowly and quietly open them doors up.
All right. As you open the door, you kind of notice that they actually swing out your way. So you just kind of pull it open towards you. As you look in, you actually see a not gigantic. Well, gigantic as far as braziers go. A large structure in the center of the room, etched with runes around it. The center of this 3-foot tall structure is a glowing green flame floating above it. In
It's
the
the
room
Lord
itself,
vessel.
it seems to be a large workshop that has been damaged by the spell that caused all the damage in this cavern. You realize now that the cavern itself was affected by such a huge thing that the flames came inside this room. There are work tables taking up 2 corners of the scorched room, and any of the plaster that was inside had been burned off the masonry on the walls. In the middle of the room, like I said, this stone pedestal is this sort of giant brazier with this green flame dancing and crackling. This one object seems to be completely untouched by time and the forces that have destroyed the rest of this area and taken many of the lives that you've seen that's come into the cave. Behind this brazier of green flame floats a spherical creature. It's measuring roughly 4 feet in diameter. It has 4 eye stalks protruding from its green body, and the central mass, 2 on each side. And in the center of the body is a large eye that stares at you with its sharp toothed mouth hanging open and its tongue kind of whipping and curling around as it moves and just flicks and looks at you.
I
And
had a
though
stealth
its
check of
mouth
30.
moves,
Maybe it's just looking at the door opening.
looked at the door as it
Oh,
opened.
Oh.
We have to get the
And
fuck
as
out
it-
of here.
as it turns to you and says, "Hello," in this thick, burbling voice inside your head. And let me, before you do anything, let me show you what you're looking at. You're like, oh my God, I'm doing it now. Just relax, relax, relax. It's okay. It's okay. Not everything is terrible and bad. It's only mildly terrible and bad. So you can see the creature.
Okay, I see the furniture.
I see this green orby thingy.
I
Looks like Slimer from
Okay.
from Ghostbusters.
can I make a D&D tropes check?
No. Because I'm just literally no. I'm going to no. And then I'm going to show you this thing is because I really just wanted to share the image of it with you. I wanted to describe it first.
It's terrifying.
But it
Are you showing
kind
an image?
of
Because I don't see it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's a fucking beholder. No, wait, it doesn't have enough
It's not
eyes
a
to be
beholder.
It doesn't
No,
have
The
enough
beholder has a
eyes.
challenge. The beholder has a challenge rating of 13. If he threw that at us, that would be really mean.
I just. It has
So
rows
describe-
of sharp teeth floating. Hey, not
Rows of
everything's
sharp teeth.
terrible. Not everything is terrible and bad. You feel your
It's-
skin crawl and the hair stands on the back of your neck
No, no.
as it approaches you. But hey, it's okay. Don't you worry.
It turns and speaks into Jerk's mind, gurgling, "Hello."
I guess are we all linked still?
Yes. And so as Jerk hears it in his mind, the rest of you hear this kind of choked greeting. Hello.
I say, hail and well met, friend.
Yeah. Hello.
Um,
Hail.
I'll furrow my brow at the rest of the party.
it's just kind of
staring,
like,
it's
yeah.
just staring at you. It's hanging out in this room. This glowing green flame at the center of this large pedestal, and has greeted you.
They say, how's it
And we all
going?
met.
Seems like
Pretty good. How about you?
well, we ran into some trouble a little ways back, and how long you been here? You lonely? You want some friends? Some company?
Oh, did you run into that? Did you run into that Mormest guy? I
Hey,
hate him.
Yeah, he's a real dick. Well, you don't have to worry about him anymore. He tried to
It's-
kill us. Can you believe that?
I hate that guy. He tries to come in here and take these magical items that I'm guarding.
Well,
And I keep killing his zombies and I keep killing his skeletons. And he just every like decade or so keeps coming in here.
in the back of my head, like all I could think of is I don't know what to do. um,
Everybody would hear that. Everybody Trick's like,
Can I?
I'll
can I,
step
can I,
forward and take over party negotiations if
Oh,
needed.
I'm gonna think to him like, remember what I did last time this happened?
no.
Close the door, and we'll talk about this.
Well, I mean,
Well,
he's not hostile towards us right now, so it doesn't seem like.
Can I
so
step forward?
as you're waiting there and he sees a little bit of sparkle gem and Talos, he's like, whoa, what's your business before you come in here? What do you want?
I'll step forward and just be like, I myself am intrigued by magic, and I just wanted to possibly compare notes, see if you have any knowledge you might be willing to pass on.
Oh,
Especially of
I'm
this
just here to
cave.
protect this room. That's why I'm here. I don't notes. I don't do notes.
Can I ask, how did you become the protector of these items?
I was summoned.
By who?
Oh, by Mormesk.
So the guy.
Were you protecting the items from the guy who summoned you?
Oh yeah, I'm going to protect these. I'm going to protect all of the magical items in this room. That's what I've been charged to do.
Would it be okay?
Can you believe that guy told me to protect all of this stuff and then came in here trying to get it after he was dead? What an asshole.
Well, okay, so since that's your charge, you're would you protect us if we stayed here for a little bit?
Like, we could just really use a nap.
Well, I'm just gonna ask you again before you come in this room. What's your business? What do you want here? Why would you even come in this room? I mean, I really need to keep this room safe.
Well,
Tell him we're looking for a dwarf.
Yeah, we're
We're
looking. Go
well,
on.
right-
Happened to see him, have you?
Right now, we're looking for a place to rest. And would you allow us to rest in here while you watch the door for us? We won't take anything.
Well, I mean, if you guys want to rest in here, I guess if you do you. But I'm just gonna watch you.
That's fine. Will you wake us up if something tries to come get us?
All of its eyes seem to look at a different one of you. So it's staring at each one of you. And what did you say?
I said, that's fine with me. Will you wake us up if something comes in here trying to get us? Or, I mean, I guess if something comes in here trying to get anything, you'd probably make some noise, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, if you guys come in here, I'm just gonna watch you. That's definitely what I'm going to do.
I mean,
I'm gonna watch anyone who comes in here at all.
I mean, he's technically not making noise right now. So if he started thinking to somebody who wasn't us, how would we know?
We would hear it.
He's thinking to them. So
And he just kind of like floats around the front of the
some
room to like come out and kind of look at you, and he's like, "Huh? You're a tiefling. You're a half elf. That's a human."
Hmm.
Just kind of tallying you up.
so what do you guys think?
Can I get a Arcana? What the
Is that
actual
a
fuck
pun,
is this
jerk?
thing check?
Is that a pun?
I'm just
Sparkle Gem. What did you ask?
Not a
Can I
purposeful
get
pun.
a Arcana? What the fuck is this thing check?
Yeah, you give me an Arcana check, and this is definitely a unnatural creature.
Okay. Do I got to re-roll?
No, it rolled. You got like
Okay.
a 23.
Oh,
Yeah,
you rolled it before you said, "Can I get an Arcana?" I see it.
Yeah. As soon as you said there was this weird creature, I was like, Arcana check.
All right. I mean,
I can re-roll if you want, though.
You definitely recognize that, although some creatures hold a similar shape, this is not a beholder. There's the wrong number of eye stalks. You don't know how many maybe are the correct for the beholder, but this is too few. You might recognize it as a 23, a spectator. It's a creature that can be summoned by powerful mages. And through your conversation with this one, you can see that he's been summoned and given orders to
Protect the magic.
protect the magic in this room. And he's pretty open with the fact that he's not going to let anyone touch any of the magic items in this room.
This is why syntax is important, guys. Protect it from anyone who comes in here, includes you.
Can I just run around and smack everything to identify it? Like, bam, 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 bam.
You're gonna get us killed.
I know, right?
You know,
There are two benches full of different things.
I'm
He
gonna.
did-
Lining both
I'm
walls.
just gonna. Before she does anything else, I'm gonna leave because I don't trust her. So I'm gonna go stand. I'm gonna stand outside the room, like here, and just. I'm.
So, what did you guys want? Why are you trying to come in? What did you want again?
If-
I wanted to see if I took a rest in here since you're watching everything. If I agree to not touch anything, will you just watch me while I sleep and make sure that I'm okay?
I mean, he's promised to just watch.
I mean, I'm gonna watch you if you come in this room. I'm definitely going to watch you if you
Okay.
come in here.
So as
But
long
you
as we
won't
don't
you won't
touch
hurt
anything.
me if I don't try to take anything, though, right?
Oh, I'll hurt you if you try to take something. Oh, yeah.
But if I don't,
I'm just gonna fuck up your whole world if you touch anything in this room.
I don't want to
Can I
touch
touch
anything.
it?
Can we
Okay,
touch
so
the
That's
floor?
good. That's good. I'm really glad to hear that you're not gonna touch anything in here. I mean,
I just want
you
to.
probably can't like take this forge, but you could probably try to take other things, and that would really piss me off.
Can I
Well-
touch them but not take them?
Oh, if you touch, I'm gonna assume you're trying to take it. I mean, like if you're touching it, you want it, right? Like, so yeah, no, I'll
I just want to know
I'll
what
fuck
it
up your
is.
day.
Hey,
that's,
guys.
that's why I'm here.
Guys,
I think we
Like-
should go somewhere else.
I've got a shield and everything. I get it. I'm the holy protector paladin type of guy, but he's made his intentions pretty clear. So if you get fucked up, it's all on you.
He said we can hang out in this room. Just don't try to take anything.
Oh
d-
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
No,
think
and I
it's a
don't
good
disagree.
idea.
I
I don't think it's a good idea.
I mean,
don't-
I asked if I could touch and not take. You just isn't having it though.
oh, sparkle gem.
What?
We've got
So-
we've
I'm
got
curious.
we've
Leave
got
me
other
be.
doors.
So you're trying to identify these things, Sparkle Jam?
Yeah, that's all I was
No.
going to try
So you're
and do.
trying to
but-
cast magic on these things.
So
So speaking as someone who has reacted irrationally to things in the past session, I could expect that if it doesn't know what you're casting, it may react harshly.
Can I ask him what's in the other room behind you?
Yeah, just like what's in that room back there?
Yeah.
And he's just like, more stuff that you're, not allowed to touch.
Oh, fine. All right. Well, I need to take a
I
nap,
mean,
but I don't know if
nobody's allowed to touch this stuff, right? Does everybody?
Yeah.
Does everybody? I
don't-
want to be really
I don't.
clear.
I don't want any of your stuff. I really, really need to take a nap, but I don't know if my friends here are not going to touch your stuff. So maybe we should find somewhere else.
Okay, roll me a deception check for you don't want any of his stuff because it's some pretty great stuff.
right, like I'm over here, eyes beating as bright as my name does. Like,
All right, he believes that you don't want any of his stuff. But he's like,
I mean,
he basically like a couple eyes just kind of look at you and he's like, it's really hard for me to believe that you don't want any of this awesome stuff.
okay, I'm going to try and fool this guy.
That's why I'm
No,
here.
no.
And he just kind of like starts looking at himself, like looking around the room, like. What did
You know
you
what?
try to say?
No, I was like, yeah, I totally don't want any of these things. Nope, not at all. Ha ha.
So you're trying. I'm sorry. What's the?
No, the
Tell me
roll
what you're
is
trying-
a deception. So that's what I was going to do with the identify.
Oh yeah, I asked Taliesin, and so he's like, I don't want any of your stuff, and he's like, I don't believe you.
Oh, okay, so I thought you
he
meant
rolled the
everybody.
deception.
I thought you
I
meant
mean-
everybody.
Suppose if you were saying that, but I don't feel like you've said that. I feel like you were just.
Yeah, I was kind of like,
Can I
can I
touch it?
touch them? Can I?
Yeah.
Like, I won't take it, but can I touch it?
All right. Well, while this madness is happening, I'm gonna advance to the corner here and see
I have a
what
question.
else
Can
is in
I'm
view.
gonna ask Shark how he likes cupcakes.
What? This? No, it doesn't. It wouldn't work. I wanted to see if I could cast Charm Person on it, but he's not a humanoid.
And even then, he's
I-
non-hostile, so it wouldn't work that way.
I think Charm Monster
No,
is a
it
fourth level
it does
spell.
work that way. You can cast it on non-hostile people. They just know you're casting it.
Well,
Once
they
once it
always.
wears off, they know. I've actually got it on my character sheet.
You know what? Okay, this is just an idea. This is
No.
my idea. I cast Tasha's hideous laughter on this damn thing,
You
and we
what?
steal everything and run.
I
Wait,
I'm
wait.
going to stop
wait,
everybody right
wait.
there.
does that have
Wait.
somatic components?
Can I say something real quick
I
to you
pitched
guys?
an idea.
I'm gonna.
I didn't go through with it.
I know. Right. Can I say something? Do we still have rapport spores?
You guys can all still hear each other's thoughts. as
Okay,
this
so-
scattering things, not sure what to speak to this guy happening.
As I'm talking to the spectator, I'm gonna say in my mind, Jerk, do you see another way into this room?
I see a door to the adjoining room.
If you think you can get in there and get the stuff while I'm distracting him,
He can still hear your
That's-
thoughts.
No,
not
you
if
can't.
no, he can talk to us telepathically, but I don't think that he's like actively listening to us.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go.
I mean, maybe he is.
He can't hear my thoughts, so
Oh.
whatever. I can sit here and say whatever the fuck I want.
I'm gonna check this door then and see what the sitch is.
All right.
So-
That door seems to have some similar damage, but you feel like you could pry it open with some kind of lever.
I have a crowbar.
So what's this forge do?
I've got an idea.
Oh, this
I'm gonna follow Jerk.
this is the forge of spells. Yeah, I guess it enchants items with magic if you leave them in the flame. For some period of time, I haven't paid attention since that drow guy's been coming in here and using it.
A drow guy.
Motherfucker.
I thought you
Yep.
said that no one can touch anything in here.
Yeah, no one can take anything out of here. I'm definitely not going to let anyone leave this
So we
room with
can't-
magical items.
We can't take anything out, but we could bring stuff in and we could touch things while in the room.
Are you saying that we can use the forge of magic?
Oh, you guys want to just use the forge?
Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't try and take it. I mean, if you try and take it, I'm gonna fuck you up. Your day is gonna be.
I don't
It's
think
gonna be a bad day.
I don't think that we can take an entire forge, my dude.
I mean,
But
I don't think so either. But if you
Bet.
try, oh, this is not
Bet.
gonna turn out well for you.
How much money you want to put down on this? I will find a way to get this forge out.
I'd like to take a closer look at the forge.
He's going to roll an intimidation check. I need you guys all to roll me your persuasion saving throw. So a charisma save.
Is that
Charisma save or
Charisma save.
persuasion?
dang it, I got a 5.
is that me too? I'm not in the room.
No, not you. You're not. No.
Bring it.
19.
That's
Weird.
mine.
Oh.
All right, you guys can tell
No.
he's
Oh, there it is. 12.
12, 19, 25. Was there any bonus on your charisma at all?
Nope.
All right,
No
5.
charisma.
Well, you're lucky because he also has no bonus on his, and his intimidation check was low. So you can
Wait.
tell he's like trying to like really hard tell you guys to like fuck off while doing it, but might be a little bit of bolstering.
Maybe
He's
he's
at
like
least-
real
at least-
polite.
Godwald and them, he's putting out like an air like he's going to like everything is going to be bad, but you don't feel so frightened by him.
Can we do an insight to see if he's actually just making bluffs or if he's telling truthies that he's going to fuck us up?
Yeah, all you at the door there, sure. You want
Sweet.
Sparkle Gem? Give it to me if anybody wants to. help her. She can
Insight.
I
roll
got
with
a
advantage.
17.
I mean, you'll probably do better than me on this insight roll.
Man, with the way I've been rolling.
I have a I mean,
8.
yeah.
All right.
got
You're an 8.
In general, you
Mine
know
was a
he's-
17.
He's definitely ready to fight, but he's being honest. He is being true. Like if you guys were to, he's saying like, yeah, if you want to come here and use the forge, you feel like he's being honest about that. But also if you know, he kind of floats back around to the corner and he's like, if you try and take anything, I'm gonna make your day bad.
So what I'm hearing is.
So he's being straightforward.
So what I'm hearing is we're allowed to be in this room. We're allowed to look at things. We're just not allowed to try and leave the room with them.
So if
Yeah,
we
I said that earlier.
Yeah,
So
you
if we
guys
use
don't
the
touch
Well, he
anything
said I
on the
couldn't
table.
touch them.
okay,
That's why I'm like, what I'm hearing though is I'm allowed to touch them, just not take
Okay.
them.
Well, is there a way I can? I want to like examine the door and see if there's a way I can quietly open it without getting his attention as he's floating around the.
Or you could let us know you're about to open it, and we could all just start making a bunch of ruckus.
I mean, you could roll a stealth check before your strength check.
I mean, you still have plus 10 to stealth
I
too.
mean,
Okay.
yeah, you could try and do it quietly.
So
Yeah.
I'll.
You have some magical benefit here.
And
Oh.
is this door like solidly fused? Because my strength is shit.
No, but you do need to make need
Okay.
to make a strength check.
All right,
instead.
so
can I help him
Beat a
open the
10. So
door?
first, give me your stealth check to see how well quietly it happens.
31.
Right, and then roll me your strength check to see if you're able to pry it open that quietly.
Mm.
Not bad.
You open a door, and what you find inside is a separate workspace. There's like a standing like shelf, but a lot of the items here were being prepared for enchantment. So there are different like swords, you know, like short wands to be enchanted, staffs to be enchanted. What they're like polished, lacquered, and otherwise like finished. This is where they would like try to do their finishing work or before the work. So like the other piece that happens not in the main workshop, but like much of the other space of everything is cavern, most everything is destroyed.
Okay. Well, then I just kind of think to everybody, this was like a prep room. There's nothing in here, really.
Do you close the door?
Yes, I will just close
Yeah,
the door.
You can grab it and it swings shut now that you've
And then I walk
you know
back.
busted open the melted part of the hinge. It's a hinge now.
I walk
I'm
back
going
over here.
to.
My
I'm going-
my plan was for you guys to try to sneak in while I had him distracted, but
Well,
All
the
right.
thing
Yeah.
is, though, like, I don't see why we should. Why?
It's not
Just start-
hostile towards us. So there's no point for us to be sneaky unless we're actively trying to steal all of the things.
I'd like to approach the
well,
fort.
yeah, that was my point.
Oh, okay.
You do see there are a series of different like tools and stuff on the chest. Who's got the highest perception?
I think I
do.
I think Taliesin.
All
I
right,
think I do.
Taliesin, give me a perception check then.
I like to perceive my eyeballs.
It's a 10.
It's a 10.
I mean, can I just use my passive 15?
You do see out of the different items that are strewn across, there are two that kind of stand out. There's a breastplate armor in the corner. It is though very dusty and covered in dust, and some of the charcoal scorching that happened in this room is there. It's still through it. You can see a gold dragon motif worked into the design of this breastplate. sitting in the corner. And the opposite side of the room, out of all the different like little pieces of swords and other items that are around, you see a mace that is made out of a solid brass shaped like a sunburst in the corner. That seems to definitely draw attention much more so than many of the other things around. But also, you do see other items, some kind of scattered on the floor. The ones on the floor are like short swords that look just like the kind of thing you maybe would have seen like goblins carrying or something. Like they're really of low quality apart, and they're just kind of scattered on the ground, handled much differently than the items that were on the workbenches inside the room.
Okay, so I would like to make a suggestion to the party. I really think we should go back to where we fought those skeletons and rest there, because we could come back and we can see if one of us can figure out how to use the forge, and we're allowed to use it. But I wouldn't rest too close to this area because there is a drow kind of randomly using it. So we're not the only people in the cave. I think we should get some distance, rest up, and then come back.
I'm down for that, but before we leave this guy specifically, I would like to inquire about how the doors got smelted shut, and if the drow told him anything regarding his why he was using the forge and gathering these enchanted items.
Okay, so Jerk comes in the room and is like, "Hey guys, like real quick, I feel like this. You're in clear earshot of the spectator as you tell him like, hey, we should back off into this stuff." And he's kind of like, "Yeah, if you're not in this room, that'd be that makes my job a lot easier." As Sparkle Gem then comes in, is like she wants to. It's like, "Hey, real quick, let me ask you a couple questions," and she basically asks the spectator about like what caused the doors to be, all the hinges to be melted, and what was the other part?
And if the drow gave him any information regarding why he needed the mass amount of enchanted items.
Okay, well,
basically what if the drow revealed any information of his plans to him.
So when you first ask about like the hinges, he's like, "Oh man." It's like, "Yeah, that was like almost, I don't know, like 600 years ago. Oh, the battle here in this cave was epic. It's like it's like between the armies that were fighting inside the cave and word from all of the destruction happening outside, the wizards and their epic climactic battle that destroyed this place. And then everybody died. Oh, man, so many people died. Oh, but it was, I think, like maybe like a series or a chain of fireballs that might have just kind of like melted these room shuts. And then I've been kind of hanging out for a really long time. Like a really long time. And you see it kind of like its eye stalks kind of look at itself and then like look back at you. It's like, yeah, and then some stuff happening. But you asked about that drow guy. I mean, he doesn't really like talk much. He like comes in here to try and use the forge, and then he gets like pissed off and leaves. But he doesn't touch anything. I think because he knows I would fuck up his day and like really make him hurt, and it wouldn't be good for him if he came and tried to touch any of my stuff here. I mean, I guess it's not my stuff, but I'm like protecting the stuff. He just kind of rambles on from that point.
Before we leave, because it sounds like a thing that would take time to take fast, I'd like to look at the forge and see if there's a clear way to use it.
I would assume
he did mention it earlier that if you leave items in the green flame, that it could enchant them. He didn't really go into detail, but it seems that as you're looking at the pedestal that's raised up like 2.5, 3 feet up off the ground, it's the pedestal itself being like 6, maybe 5 by 5 feet wide, 6 feet wide. There is this flame burning in the center. The flame, though, is rising up over like a metal grate and you could set things in the metal grate. Seems to be almost designed for that purpose. The flame is burning too. It's not a.
Then before we go, I'd like to take, if there's just a pair of tongs now, I just take my spare dagger and put it on the grate before we leave and just leave it there while we rest.
I was about to suggest that as well.
Okay, so Godwald, you're going to put something in the forge.
Mhm.
Sparkle Gem, are you also going to put something in the forge?
Well, we already got one person going. I will wait to see if the project works, and if it doesn't, I'll come back and ransack for notebooks.
I've got
I
I'm
was
not
gonna
touching
say,
magical stuff.
We've got a room full of equipment there too that we could try out.
I've got a spare dagger I can toss in the forge real quick too.
That makes 2.
Okay, is anyone else putting anything in the forge?
Not until I find out if there's prep work needed after these two throw their daggers in.
Okay, so Godwald and Jerk are putting items in the forge.
Mhm.
And what items specifically are you putting in? Make notes.
One ordinary dagger bought in Fandlin.
Godwald dagger. Jerk, you're putting something in the forge?
I've got a
You want it?
spare dagger too, but I'll just hold on to it and we'll see how it works out the first time.
I gotta use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay, so only Godwald is putting something in the forge.
Yeah, you should enchant your sword.
All right, so Godwald places a dagger inside the flame. There are tongs and other like blacksmithing tools around in the area. Do you try to pick those up and use to put it on the flame, or you toss it in there? What are you doing? How are you doing this?
I would reach for the nearest pair of tongs to this side of the table. If the flame has been rising and falling as I've been watching it, that's pretty scary.
Okay, so as you reach for the tongs, the spectator turns to you. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You're not gonna try and take that out of here, are you?"
I promise not to try and take this out of this room.
I'm gonna keep an eye on you. And
Sure.
one of them is just locked on you.
Sure.
All
But
right,
I would just
don't make for the door. Because he's just kind of floating there watching you. But you're able to then pick up the tongs, put the dagger over the flame, and it sits there. How long do you sit here with it?
Oh, I was gonna leave it here for the whole 8 hours.
Okay. Just place the dagger over there with the tongs. Set the tongs back down. He's like, "All right, yeah, that's good. Don't try and take those. I don't want to have to attack you.
I'm just gonna
seem-
leave it
you
here
guys,
until we get back.
you guys seem okay. You guys seem alright. Not like those orcs hundreds of years ago. Those guys were dicks. Or that Mormus guy. God, I fucking hate him.
Just to
Yeah.
be
Not a
clear
fan
though,
either.
once we use the forge, we can take what we brought in with us, right?
So you're asking him?
Like if we use the forge on this dagger, I can take this dagger when I leave, or is that that's no? What do you think, bud?
Well, wait. What do you mean? You mean you're gonna try and take any of these magical items? And
No,
he kind of like looks
no.
back around the room. He's like,
I
"Cause
say-
I will fuck up your day."
I say absolutely not. I say, but I'm going to use the forge, and then I'm going to. Never mind. Just never mind.
It's yours.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I guess. Then he kind of like looks up
What is this?
with a couple of his eyes, and he looks
I was
up
like,
and he
will
thinks, "Well, I guess if it's roll me a persuasion.
What is this for?
You
What
gotta
are we
beat
trying
his-
to
Jerk
do?
is trying to
You gotta beat
convince
his. It's
the
12.
spectator that because it's my dagger, I'm allowed to take it out of the room, even if it means taking a magic item out of this room.
It's what am I rolling? Persuasion.
gonna roll
You should have
d20
discussed that before
persuasion
throwing your
check.
dagger in there.
I was
Um,
never going to use it. It's my backup dagger. Honestly, I grabbed
Well,
it.
as if it gets a super buff, you're going to
Oh.
start using it then.
I risk
Whoa.
nothing.
Lucky coin.
Can I assist that roll?
Lucky coin.
He can use his inspiration, which he had from giving the
Okay, I'll do that.
piece. So you could roll another d20. You're trying to beat a 12.
I did have this thought earlier because nice.
All right, so he's like,
Lucky.
well, I guess if you make that, what are you holding up? Sword, dagger, whatever.
The dagger.
Or
I'm
A
just
dagger. I
kinda-
guess if you make that dagger, and he looks at it and kind of like eyes it. If you make that dagger into a magical item, you won't be taking any of. And he kind of does a little spin around to then turn all of his eyes back to you. And again, it's right into your head. It's the mouth maybe like squeezes a little occasionally, and the tongue flicks, but it's words in your mind, not anything spoken. So I guess then you wouldn't be taking any of these magical items, and so yeah, all right.
Yay!
I add a note to my second dagger that reads "In Forge." And with that, I have no further complaints to us. Just leaving.
And
Can
Jerk places a dagger in the forge.
Yeah, might as well. All right.
can I make a perception check to see if I see any notebooks or like
He's watching you.
that's
In
fine.
the room?
The-
Yeah, just
yeah,
you-
in the room. They're not magical. Notebooks
Roll-
are
just-
not magical that I know
Just
of.
roll me your perception. Do you have like detect magic or identify or anything?
I have identify, yes, but he said I
Okay.
can't touch anything that's magical, and identify is a touch spell. So that's
Yeah,
a
he
catch
said- well-
22.
He said he would assume that if you were touching any of the magical items that you were trying to take them.
Right. So I can't touch anything without him, like, without initiating a fight.
You could
Okay.
probably ask him if you can pick something up.
I did, and he told me no. He said he
No,
would
he
mess
said
me
that-
up.
So as you're kind of like looking around the room, it's really difficult to kind of tell because between the scorched room in general and like so the condition of just whatever explosion caused these doors to weld shut and fireball everything in the space and kill all of these bodies throughout this sparkled cavern. It's tough to like make out. You could kind of assume from your role like this can't all be magical, but you definitely see two items that seem to stand out, and it's that breastplate and that mace.
Okay,
With
so,
the,
but
with the gold inlaid dragons and the bronze sunburst.
I'm
so
gonna say,
nothing, no notes, no nothing like that though.
I want to say in
Uh,
rapport spores.
There's some scrolls, some papers lying on there, rolled up. But you're saying rapport spores in your head?
I wanted to say in rapport spores, guys. I think we might need, like, if we're gonna. I don't know about this drow guy, but we might need the stuff that's in here.
I respond. You might be right, but we are in no condition to touch anything. So
In your
Yeah,
minds, in
yeah.
your collective minds, you hear, everybody needs this stuff. It's fucking great.
Hey
We
man,
have established a rapport with this thing.
Would we be allowed to borrow these items but return them when we're done exploring this place looking for our friends?
Oh yeah, no. I swear, if you touch any of this stuff, I am seriously going to fuck up your month, your week, probably like the rest of your life. Do you like your eyeballs?
Not
Do you
really.
like your eyeballs? I think that's a valid
And-
question.
And with that, with the "do you like your eyeballs" statement, you feel like things are taking a turn towards his aggression.
I
But I haven't touched shit.
Uh-oh.
Maybe he's just
Is it
touchy in
ju-
general.
You just get the things touchy about conversation about his stuff.
Okay, so
Technically,
Well, the
not
stuff,
even your
not
shit.
even his stuff. Yeah, just the stuff he's protecting. It's really not even his. So you guys leave 2 daggers inside the forge.
I feel like
And
if
then
we
leave?
stay here any longer, we're gonna start a fight accidentally. So we should really go rest.
We should.
Go in here,
I
take a nap.
agree.
All right, there are 2 daggers in the forge of spells.
Huh.
As you all may or may not remember, the Forge of Spells is the feature that makes the Lost Echo Cave unique. It is the item that this battle and the subsequent war in the area was fought over. This is the thing. This is the legend, and you've all just seen it with all of the runes inscribed, and this green flame seemingly burning from nothing, and this glowing forge as the runes kind of pulse.
That was very pretty and very impressive. And I kind of like that guy. He's entertaining.
He's doing his job.
I mean, as I leave the room, I'm going to make sure no one but our party can read my thoughts and be like, I'm totally coming back and killing that guy.
And you just kind of hear like, I'd love to see you try and take these fucking magic items. This will be great. I held off that fucking wraith for 500 years. You guys are gonna come in here and think you're awesome. This is gonna be fun.
I'm still disappointed you guys won't let me cast Tasha's hideous laughter.
Oh,
and
wait,
just
no,
jack
you-
all this shit.
That's right. You think that, but well, so it's either like you think that everyone can hear it, or you think that no one can hear it. You can kind of make that.
I can't
call.
pick and choose who hears and who doesn't.
It's
mean, you
on or
can-
off, right?
You can do that if you want.
So what do we want to do, guys? Do we want to go rest now?
So as we're walking out, what's this other thing to the left? I haven't been up here. I have no idea what this is.
Bust it in. Let's do
That
this.
is a
Oh.
set of doors with one of them ajar. One
Can
of
we,
the
can
doors.
we can we please rest before we open any doors?
No.
Why don't we? Oh,
I would really like this campaign to continue.
I still got to revive. Let's do this.
2 of our party members' HP was permanently halved.
Okay.
Let's do
I step aside and let the gnome with dark vision, if they want, look through an ajar door.
Yeah, I'll say look through the doors. No,
Because
see
there's
if I
also their
notice
stealth is better
anything.
than
Without a light source, you can't really see anything through the 2 doors. But it is open. You do feel like that if you pulled this door up and it would open, you could look at the other side.
Fuck it. Opening the door.
I step
Suicide mission.
way away before this happens.
All right, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
It's not against magic, I hope.
I'm just.
Guys, can I get blown up
Dexterity
a
saving
second
throw.
time is the question.
I,
Yeah,
This-
you can.
for the record, this was not part.
It was
I'm
your
not part of this.
idea.
It
It was
was.
your idea.
I
All
no.
right,
No.
you guys are in your place. Stop moving around. Sparkle Gem's opened a door. She has rolled a dex saving throw. 15.
And here's this, because I know this is coming.
All right, so it's your dex save is +3.
Yes, so it's a 15 total, and there's my initiative.
Your dex save
Maybe
is
that's not
+3.
what's going on.
Sparkle Gem, as you're looking at these 2 doors without investigating them in any way, shape, or form, you grab a handle and you go to like yank the door open. As soon as you do yank the door open, you do briefly see down this hall as then a series of objects. A series of objects then come crashing down from the ceiling as you are barely, and I mean barely, able to escape the rubble that then falls down, blocking the entire door up. There's been a trap that had been set on the other side of this door that if anyone had tried to pull through it, and you've triggered it and knocked all of this rubble down, blocking this passage completely.
Okay. Well,
Well, we completely solved the mystery of that door.
yep.
All
We can
right.
take it anytime at all.
Yep. Hey,
I consider
guys.
that a success. Anyway, let's go rest.
Guys, I didn't blow
All right,
up. Let's keep going.
You kind of think to yourself, like, man, I should like investigate doors.
I'm
more
normally
often
the one
as
who
a-
does
as a rogue.
that.
As a rogue would do that kind of thing.
We've already determined I'm not a real rogue.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious now. All right, so this thud, this crash comes through. One thing that notices is as you guys have been entering this cave, like, and you approach this room with a spectator, the crashing waves are so loud now that you really like. Even as that rubble fell, it was just barely louder than the sound of the waves. You could tell that source is coming just from the north of you.
Oh.
So does it sound like as the doors opened, it got louder, or was it like
It's
just
been
in
it's been
general?
in this room, but I'm saying like even as loud as the crashing of all this stone and rubble and things that have been propped up on these like planks that essentially you opening the door like pulled a string and then knocked all this stuff down, hoping to hit whoever was walking through it.
He's trying to tempt you guys. We need to go rest.
Yeah, that noise
Yeah.
wasn't as loud as the crashing waves to the
Speak
north.
for
The
yourself.
thing that you've heard this whole time while you're in the cave.
I mean, we still have plenty of healing. I still have all of my magic.
Okay,
Like,
but
I haven't
you
passed
you do know.
anything.
Okay, I'm telling you,
That's
two of our party members have a max HP of 15. You can't heal them above that. We need to go take care of that before we get ourselves into any more trouble.
But who's to say
Yeah,
that's even
mine's
going to
13.
wear off and it's not a curse that's embedded there until we find a way to get
Okay.
them decursed?
Well, Jerk is just gonna say, "I'm gonna go take a nap," and he's gonna slowly walk down the stairs. He's gonna go,
I'm
"Who's
just
coming
saying-
with me?"
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to
Yeah,
the
I'm
room.
gonna- Yep,
If that's what everyone else is gonna do.
You're
I
all a
love
bunch
it.
of pussies.
Hey, listen,
I don't want to
Sparkle-
hear it, Lady Elf.
Sparkle Jim is like, I got my gallows jig potion. I drank it. I want to experience death.
If you
I've
want to
just done a
keep
decent
going,
amount for you.
All right, so
All right,
can
so,
we?
so you guys basically spent a good like this is a
5,
good
10 minutes talking with
no,
that
no.
guy.
No, literally all of the talking we did was like 25 minutes. So you guys spent like 25 minutes talking to the floating head full of eyeballs next to the Forge of Spells, the most like
I
epic
tried.
like, feature of the landscape known to you on the Sword Coast. You're like, all right, let's go take a nap.
I hate them.
It is probably now. Let's see.
We're gonna have to
it
leave to
was
feed
like
the horses soon.
4 o'clock when you started the thing, so maybe like 6 p.m. And you have already stopped to rest for,
A second time.
yeah, for once, and Taliesin already rested 6 hours. But you guys are heading now south collectively. I hear. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Unfortunately,
All right. And
I'm gonna go pay that floating skull a lesson quick, or another visit.
Yeah, teach
I'm
them
gonna-
how a gnome dies.
I'll be
I'm gonna
resurrected with 1 HP and run the fuck away. What else would I do?
They may have more
don't
than
know,
one
waste your
fireball.
potion,
or
I
2
guess.
fireballs.
well, it
I'm
lasts
gonna
for
run back here.
an hour, so she pretty much has an hour to do something with it.
So does it
Yeah.
just keep happening?
Talison's gonna run back here.
Tell us
I would
what
like
are you
to.
doing?
I would like to throw my bear hide armor on the fire.
You
Okay.
Are you burning away
then
weight?
So you have to take
It's magic
like,
fire.
it's like
Oh, okay.
it's like 10 minutes to like take off your armor. So you take off your owlbear like hat, your cloak. You're like taking this stuff off so that you can then like get to all the the straps that keep your bear hide armor on. You take that off and you put it on the flame, and you notice that the flame does not burn the leather or the hair, which may have been possible, but does not happen here. And it sits soaking in the flame with the daggers.
Can I also put my owlbear hat in there?
There is plenty of space in the grate that this flame is over. This flame that seems to be burning on nothing, just hovering above this stone, like short column.
So
piece.
I want to throw my owlbear hat and my silken scarf in there, and
So
then
the owlbear hat, silken scarf.
I will make my way back to the group, completely shirtless with just pants on, and be like, "All right, chaps, let's go take a nap."
All right. Go south. Anybody else?
I'm gonna wait till we see the results.
Yeah, I'd rather wait to see results because there's Jerk talked about how there was a prep room in the other area, so who's to say you don't have to perform a series of like rituals on the armor for the forge to actually work and affect it? Because he did also mention that the drow comes in, throws shit in there, gets angry, and leaves all this shit, which would probably explain all these crappy goblin daggers and knives that were on the ground.
Can we,
It,
since we
it
know
could
the
just be
area,
that he needs a specific enchantment and he's not getting it.
can we make our way through the mushroom?
I mean,
room
we've all had
without-
those days trying to roll something good.
All right, so you guys come to the south. You enter the room with all of the glowing green moss. Oh man, it's been a minute since I read this one. When is this, 8?
We're not even halfway through this dungeon yet, and we've already run
These
through it
dense
twice.
carpets of weird fungi
Well-
covering large section of the floor of the cavern. Those puffballs, those green ones you've seen that were about a foot across when they exploded, you do see like a few small ones kind of growing, but they're only in the realm of like the largest ones you see are maybe like 4 inches in diameter. But the mushroom people are there, and having experienced most of what you just did with you, are just like so brave, so cool, friends, and just hold up their arms and waddle towards you for hugs.
I walk past them quickly.
I'm
I
gonna
say-
run past them. Yeah.
I'm going to try that bowing thing that Taliesin did.
Does
Didn't really work.
anybody remember the
then
effects
just
of
keep
the
going.
puppy dog mushrooms?
All right, and then Sparkle Gem and Bear, what do you guys?
So I'm gonna follow and kind of do the no, you don't want to touch me right now. I'm disgusting. I'm really maybe later.
I've got wraith all over me.
Yeah, I am covered in wraith. Undead, right there, just
You-
all over the armor. Just
You
if
would
I were
have
you,
to,
I wouldn't hug me.
you would definitely have to roll me deception because I know your armor is always spotless.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Just because you can't see it doesn't mean
I mean,
it's
just
not there.
it's okay. You could just you're just trying to lie to these guys as you're running past them. I hear you.
Lying to a child. Does that break the paladin code?
Oh wow, my deception's +3. I'm a good liar, apparently.
You're charisma based.
Not a great liar, apparently.
You're good enough to lie to these guys.
Like for your own good.
Yeah, and they're like, ah. They see Godwald stop and bow, and they remember when Taliesin was like, no, that's not appropriate, and bowed, and they're like, oh, and they kind of put their arms down, and they kind of mold into the stalk of the mushroom, and then their caps, and they do just bend at the waist at Godwald as he does, and kind of waddle back into their mossy, glowy area. So you guys are able to pass without any incident of those. Maybe a of yellow spores, just friendly. We want to be able to talk to you all the time. Spores. What are they? What were they called? Remember, Taliesin?
The rapport spores.
Rapport spores. But yeah, you guys are
Yes.
able to pass through there without issue. And where are you headed now?
I'm
Back
gonna
to our sleeping cave.
I'm gonna head
The nap
forward,
room.
pressing on.
I'm looking forward to a nice stone bench.
All right. As you guys exit through the fungi cave, and you come into the room where there are all the old skeleton bodies and the sturges, I need one of you brave souls to roll me a d12.
I think somebody else should take that.
I volunteer.
Thank you.
I have been outdone.
What's the number?
11.
Who
All
rolled
right.
first?
Roll me a.
Oh no, it was what was it?
Well, Sparkle Gem rolled, but she's not in the room with us.
Well,
I
you
don't know where
guys
she-
all collectively entered into this cave, but I need one person to roll me a d12. I heard that it was an 11. Who rolled it first? I'm not looking. I'm gonna go.
Sparkle Gem rolled first, and she got a 3.
Her
Okay,
mic is
Sparkle
off,
is
so
three.
we can't hear her.
Yeah, we can't hear her.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I thought I was unmuted this entire time. So I already moved my character way back into the general area of that room, like way before any descriptions and such started.
Where were you? Oh,
'Cause I
back here.
assumed-
That's fine.
yeah.
That's fine. As you're collectively in here,
I was saying
You-
it sounded
you
like we
roll a
were all moving as a
D12.
group.
I just need somebody to do it first. Looks like
Okay.
Spark Tim rolled it. Rolled a 3. Roll me a d4.
D4. Boop. 3.
All right. As you guys enter through this room, in the cavern above you, where all of the sturges, the big fleshy bat-like mosquito things had like swooped and strike, there's another of the sturges flying around, and you kind of realize like that was just a flock of them that had come in here. Though that one is above you, it doesn't swoop to attack. You just notice it there. This is a cave.
Gross.
This is a cave where they like to be. But anyways, so you guys then go back down to what was the armory before?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. From before, Sparkle Jet. Well,
I might be in the wall
Roll
over here.
so what? Sparkle Gem and Taliesin, give me your survival checks.
Ooh, this is bad. I don't even know what that
It was 18.
straight roll, so hit. Six.
Okay. Taliesin, as you guys come down to the south, into this room on the west, you notice the door had been splintered from when the skeletons were trapped in there and started pounding on the door itself. Also, you kind of have them like, you know what? Those things all came to life while we were in there. And you know the door across the way that was the mail room or the like greeting area, reception desk. That door is still intact. Sparkle Gem, you kind of remember another room to the north that you felt like would have been a good place to hole up. You remember it being much more intact than the majority of the things that you've seen when you split off and went your own way.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know which way you're talking about. So there, if we want to go this way up and around instead, boop, like this general area till right about there, this way over here and up and around, there is a room that's better fortified.
So you're saying it's not far and there were no obvious dangers between here and there.
None whatsoever. It's just past that that things go booming.
Okay.
Yeah, and between the doors and the rooms to the south, Taliesin moves and like, well, that one's probably not as good an idea as that one, and they're right next to each other.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, look, it's another broom closet.
So are we going in here?
Yeah. Well, which one would we rather do? Do we want to head back towards the green floating skull, take our chances past that thing, going that way?
Based on how you look, no.
Yeah.
How rude.
Look,
All right.
the
You're
room
just a
that
very rude man. You know that, Taliesin? And she's just going to like storm off.
I
He's
vote
gonna
northern
pretend
room.
like
It sounds bigger than this office.
Talison's gonna pretend like he doesn't understand what you're saying.
Even more rude.
All right, so you guys are gonna hole up in the reception
I don't
area.
have my.
The door
Yep.
does have a lock, so you could just lock the door.
I'm gonna crawl under this table.
In the room is the stone desk that is a part of the room, but in the back is the wooden cubbies for all the mail. So there's a like piece of there's a chair there
get out of
next
bedroll.
to the stone desk as well.
I'm going to see if I could fit into one of the cubbies and take a nap.
Okay, yeah, I take my bedroll back from her then.
I'll
All right, you try to
I'll
fit in
find
the
a place to
cubby.
stretch out.
Yeah, I'm going to try and fit into a cubby. Like, how big are these cubbies?
You could maybe sleep on top of the cubby hall, the cubbies thing. That you could fit on that like a bed, wooden
Fair.
bed. The cubbies are like for mail, almost like departments for
Okay,
certain
see.
people. So they're like maybe packages could fit in them, but even as small as you are, I don't feel like you would.
No,
fit in
I wouldn't be
these.
able to if it was mailroom. I totally
But on
forgot
top
about
of
that.
it, you could lay down and use it like a bed that probably nobody else would really fit on.
That's fair. I'll do that instead. Try and climb my butt up there.
Break them
All right.
apart.
So you guys, yeah, it's
Oh,
six.
we do lock the door too.
I love it. It's probably good. So around 6 p.m. in the afternoon, you guys are in the evening. You guys have only been awake since about 8 or 9. You took a break for about 6 hours in there. You're like, we're gonna try and sleep. Unlock the store. Are you guys gonna do shifts? Are you gonna do?
Should we do two? Well,
Well, we should
if you
definitely
guys,
do. we
if you
should-
guys heal me up fully, I can just stay up and be fine.
Yeah, her
I
and
mean,
I
you
can.
many,
Her and I can take turns guarding because I barely got touched that whole time.
You could also probably just take a short rest and roll your hit die and get back up.
I mean,
Oh, I
I'm
was
at
gonna say,
halfway.
I have heals left, so
I do
if I'm-
too. So
No, that's true.
I think we're good if we want to heal people up. Who needs what?
I
Come get some of this healing.
need
Yeah,
14
what's the plan here?
hit points. That's all I know.
I'll start that.
So what's
Who's
the
next?
what's the general plan here? You guys are just kind of locked up in the room, healing
I
up.
don't mind. Like I said, if people heal me up, I don't mind just hanging out in the room and keeping watch the entire time. I will be fine.
Yeah,
I'm only missing one spell slot. I'm not that worried about it.
I'm kind of running low on resources. I'm like HP wise, I'm good, but like my spells and things, my healing stuff is pretty low.
Okay, I'm good on everything,
I
so
should
I can.
rest.
I probably only need a short rest to keep up with you guys, but I mean, I don't even actually need a rest. I can stand guard.
All right. Well, I'm already asleep.
Yeah, I definitely
I hear-
suggest like long rests for anybody who needs them.
I heal Sparkle Gem for 21 and go to sleep.
Okay, does anybody
sweet,
else
awesome
need HP?
night.
I don't, and I think everybody else is gonna rest, so that'll bring their HP up.
Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and rest as well. Go to bed. Go to sleep.
All right. Let me find my notes to make the party slept for 8 hours. At
Oh.
6 p.m. at night. Everybody, Taliesin with disadvantage, but everybody roll me a d20 to see, because Taliesin, you've already like taken a nap, meditated earlier today. But everybody roll me a d20. If it's above 5, then you're able to get to sleep and rest. And Taliesin, you have to roll above a 5 with disadvantage, which is still not too bad.
Wait,
But the fact that it's like, all right, cool. Just because, like, it's really like, it's like waking up and then trying to like sleep after you've already woken up and like trying to go to sleep. Like it's, like you're trying to like do this rest. This is a difficult thing. I'm
Bold
sorry.
of you to assume that I can't sleep for 20 hours.
I
Yeah.
failed to check.
That's why I
but
let a die roll do it.
I failed to check, but I didn't rest during the previous rest. I stayed up while he was in Hippie Vision Quest mode. So, can I auto succeed? Because it's a really bad situation if I fail. Like, this is the first time I was trying to rest in this cave.
Do it again. Beat a 5. You can beat a 5 on a d20 roll. Let's see it. Come on, everybody.
you'd
We all
think
want to
so,
see.
but-
We all want to see a d20 go above a 5. We
It's
did it.
above a 5. Yay.
All right, you take an extra hour to get to sleep.
Fair.
You guys kind of realize like doing
you.
this really is like sort of against your body's circadian rhythm. Like yeah, I want to just sleep for 8 hours at 6 p.m. It's really difficult, but you managed to do it. Now let's see if anything bothers you.
wait, why did I roll? I said I was going to stay up all day. Or through it.
All right. So timeline. Well, anyways, it's 8 hours after 6 p.m.
9 hours.
So around 3 in the morning, you guys wake up to some scratching sounds at the door. Stops, but it's enough to disturb you all and wake you up from your rest. You all have a long rest effect. So go ahead and press that long rest button and refresh your sheet.
Sweet.
All right.
Can I say that since I only have to sleep 6 hours, that I got up and like focused on that pipe that I found earlier? I just kind of like studied it, trying to see what it does, if it does anything, or if it's just fancy as fuck.
All right. Yeah, with your shorter rest, you're able to wake up a little bit earlier and spend an hour. Yeah, 2 minutes. Give me just a second. How about everybody else? What else is going on?
I needed the whole time. Nothing else.
Yeah, I'm asleep. Dead.
I mean, scurrying noise. Should I say I just ran off and went and checked it out? I should have. It's also 10:40 at night.
Do 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 do.
How'd that poem go? Here's that poem.
All right. Okay. And what else is happening in the room? I apologize. And it's 10:40 at night. She's right.
I mean,
guys-
do we all want to say we rested and restart next week?
Sounds good.
I think that's a good idea.
Sure.
All right.
Nice, even stopping point.
After this long rest, Godwald and Taliesin, you both feel like thoroughly refreshed. And you feel back to your regular selves. Like, whereas after that spell had drained you of some of your life force, you were actually kind of like thinner and looked almost starved. You return to just your normal selves, and your hit points maximum is restored.
That is excellent to
Hooray.
hear.
Yeah, that was scary.
Hooray. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm glad that you guys resisted that shit, because I was a little worried.
And it was a scary thing. I was also worried. I've been very worried.
All right. Well, I guess
With
that's
cause.
it. So, good night, Internet.
Good
Sure.
night,
Good night,
Internet.
Internet.